My name is Marcia Grant, the UK Executive, International Executive for PAYCATION. It is my pleasure to be here tonight, and I respect and honour you all for taking time out on a Sunday to actually come here. What I'd like to do before I start is, I'd just like to see a show of hands for those of you that are already PAYCATIONers, so that I understand what's happening in the room. So all the PAYCATIONers, can you just put up your hands? If you are a PAYCATION traveller member, let me see a show of hands. Let me just get this mic sorted out a little bit. Okay, good, thank you. The guests that are in the room tonight, can I just see a show of hands, please? If you're a guest. Okay, good. Right, well, we are filming tonight because this is very, 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 very important. So we're filming this event. Does anybody have any objections to being filmed? You have objections? Okay.
Does the royalties come to me?
The royalties, yes. Okay, so this is going to be filmed, but more importantly, because I am the international executive for UK and Europe, this will go viral. This will go viral. So be prepared to be famous. Play the part. Okay, play the part. We have Mikey G, a very good friend of mine, Michael Harrison. He is a professional producer, film producer. He's doing the filming here, and he will be going around, and he wants to see smiles. You don't want to see no depression. So, yeah, let's just keep the smiles from now, because you don't want to look back at this many years to come and say, oh my God, if I didn't know. You do know, okay? Anyway, thank you all for coming out tonight. Really, really appreciate it. But why are you here? That's the question. Well, basically, somebody must have told you something to get you out on a Sunday. And I'm hoping that we are going to change your life tonight. Just 2 minutes about myself, okay? Basically, in May 2014, somebody sent me a WhatsApp message. And I'm going to tell you what that message said. It said, Marcia, I have an opportunity for you to make some money. Now, should we ignore things like that? But we do though, don't we? Be honest. Come on. Because we get it all the time, don't we? Okay. However, I saw it as a calling. And I decided to say, I'm not going to ignore this one. So I clicked on the link, hence PAYCATION. Basically, I'm in the travel business already. And when I heard that I could get commission for doing something that I do anyway, which is travel, I said this is a no-brainer. So I decided to join. Then I found out that I was going to have my own business, legitimate business, working from home. So I thought, okay, it might cost me about £2,000, and then by the time I do my flyers and my marketing, I might have to invest about £5,000, but it's business. When I found out that it was £90, I just said, no, this is too good to be true. So what did I do? As we do, due diligence, due diligence, due diligence. And then I had to just stop. And I thought, but Marcia, you pay £90 on a pair of shoes. You need to just make a decision. So I made a decision. And then I found out something else. And that is that they're affiliated with the top suppliers in the world. It was a no-brainer after that. Because just use common sense. Do I need to do any due diligence if Expedia is in partnership with PAYCATION? Do I need to do any due diligence if Carnival Cruise and Hertz Car Rental and the Hilton and every single top brand in the world is in partnership with PAYCATION? No. What I do need to do is test it out. Join. It's £90. Join, and guess what? Let me make a booking. Simple. let me use this PAYCATION website that I've been given to make a booking. I made the booking. Lo and behold, my confirmation came. PAYCATION travel. This is the date. This is the hotel. Hilton. No-brainer. Lying in the bed, in the hotel, using PAYCATION. It's all over, as far as I'm concerned. So what did I do after that? I pinched a friend. The friend that I pinched is sitting at the back of the room. Come forward, please, Mandy. Now, we are used to pinching people, aren't we? We're doing it all the time. You're pinching them about the movie, you're pinching them about the nice dress you just bought, you're pinching people, recommending things, and not getting anything for it. This time, I pinched my lovely friend, Mandy, and said, Mandy, it's time for us to change our lives. We're not getting any younger, are we, Mandy? And it's time for us to do something different. She jumped on board immediately. Yes, it's travel, and it's making money, and it's real. So she came on board. Then I pinched my son. Come here, Daniel. You've got to pinch the right people, you know. It just makes sense, doesn't it? Okay? I pinched my son. He's already seen the evidence. He came on board. Okay? Then I pinched my good friend over here, Glenda. Come forward, please. Glenda! Travel! Money! Best combination! £90! No more talk. So, what's happened from this, May 2014, is that we now have 550 travel agents in the UK and Europe, and we will have 5,000 this time next year, just because I pinched these three here, okay? So that is my story, and I'm hoping from that, it's time for you to sign up. I don't think I need to do another presentation. Okay, but what I want to do now is I want to just go to Glenda. Glenda, tell him about why you joined PAYCATION and what's going on for you.
As Marcia said, travel. I love travel, it's my passion. I like to go away to holidays. I like to go different places as well. One of my passions was to go to Bora Bora and the Seychelles. And when I looked in my travel site and I saw those places, it's all over. And for me, I needed time. Not getting any younger, I want to have my time back. I want to be able to leave a legacy as well for my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchild.
Thank you. Thank you. Mandy, what's going on for you with PAYCATION and why did you join?
Well, we are building a new community of positive, progressive, like minds. This business gives us an opportunity to help people get out of the rat race. You need to have a plan B, people. No matter what you're doing right now, you need to have a plan B. You are being given enough money to make sure you're able to cover your overheads in your 9-to-5s. This plan B is going to help you to be able to, like Glenda said, leave a legacy. Make enough money so you're able to build your dreams instead of building somebody else's dreams. That's why I'm involved.
Thank you very much. That's Mandy, and then my son Daniel. Why did you join PAYCATION and what is it doing for you?
Well, aside from the fact that because you told me to, it was, I didn't actually know. I was at work, I was on the internet looking at clothes to buy, and then she told me about it, and I was contemplating on buying a jacket that's worth 150 something, and she said, well, there's a business that's worth £90. Do you know what I mean? So I just went out that way, but I didn't actually know the income of the business. I just knew that travelling is something I love to do, and if I can travel as an insider and get discounts, that's why I jumped on. And then I told my friend about it, who's also on travelling, and I noticed, hold on, why is there money in my back office? And there was a no-brainer after that. So yeah.
Thank you. So, thank you. Listen, as you can see, getting up here and just speaking is not an easy thing, but guess what? When you're speaking with conviction and from experience, you can talk in front of millions of people. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So thank you, ladies and gents, for that. Thank you so much. Now, we do things different, okay? This is not no polished presentation where I have to, you know, think about my P's and Q's. We are here to talk from the heart. We are here to share our experiences with you. And then hopefully you will feel what we are feeling and decide to join us, okay? So what I'm going to do now is, even though I've taken time out to explain everything, what I'm going to do now is, I literally call this training. I don't call it a presentation. I call it training. I see it as the first part of your journey. So I am honoured to give you the first part of your journey by sharing PAYCATION with you. So I'm just going to turn the mic down a little bit more because I really do not want to have too much feedback here, okay? So with this particular opportunity, you will get the opportunity to actually make money, save money. Okay, we're not getting anything? Okay, no. I don't know if it's because I've been waiting for so long. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you're going to get the opportunity to learn how to save money with PAYCATION. Also, make money. Very, very important. Now, another thing is, with your 9-to-5 jobs, 25 to 40% gets taken out before you even start. How about turning that around? How about getting your money, using it for all your expenses, traveling, doing everything first, and then probably giving them what's left after you've finished all your expenses and doing what you need to do? It makes sense to do it that way round? Okay, well that's what's going to happen when you join PAYCATION as well. And then there's something that none of us can get back, and that is our precious, precious time, okay? You cannot get these moments back. That is why I'm honoured that you're here tonight, and let's make it worth your while. Now, as far as I'm concerned, we have a solution to all those 4 things, all in one go. Basically, would you all like to get massive travel agent discounts and perks? Let me hear a yes or no. Yes. Okay, what about making money from booking travel for yourself, your friends and family and customers using Expedia, Priceline, Booking.com, all the sites that you're actually using already? How about getting back some commission for doing that? Just by pressing a few buttons. Okay, good. Next one, ongoing training and support, starting right here today. Ongoing. So we're here to hold your hand every step of the way. And then, most importantly, we call this the ticket to freedom. You are now going to be able to run your own turnkey business, complete package, all done for you. Very, very important. And now, the last 3 is what we call the bonus. Here in the UK, we have 550 travel agents. But more importantly, we have something very exclusive. There is 20,000 travel agents, 23,000, it keeps changing every week. 23,000 travel agents globally in PAYCATION. However, there are people now that want the UK market. So why are we so important with the UK if there are 23,000 travel agents globally? It's because UK is very important. The pound is very important. And we are here in the UK. We need to take advantage of that. Also, you have us here in the UK to give you that support. That separates us from the rest. The next thing is you're networking with like-minded, positive people. We have no issue if after this presentation people say, no, I don't want to make that money, I don't want to save that money, I still want to do my 9 to 5. If it's not for you, we respect that. Because all we want is people who want what we want. Would you agree? Yeah. Good. So that's the like-minded people. And then there's something that money cannot buy. And that is lacking amongst us. And that is what we call personal development. we do not take enough time to develop ourselves. We know too much more for other people and the Kardashians and what's going on in Coronation Street and EastEnders. We know so much about other people. And we don't know nothing about ourselves. Okay? So it's time to reverse that. It's time for us to spend time on ourselves. Personal development is a must. Okay? So these are the things that we have a solution for. And let's say that you've hit the jackpot. And I can beat my chest and tell you that you have hit the jackpot. If you make a decision today to take on board what we are going to present to you. Why? Because it's a no-brainer. Why? Look, you've got two options here. You can just say, you know what, I like the travel side of it. I'm going to do it anyway. After today, it's going to hurt me to know that I use Expedia anyway. I could have got up to 10% commission for booking the same thing I'm going to book. It was a no-brainer because if you do the maths and you make one booking for £1,000, which is nothing, yes, 10% of that is £100. So the £90 you've already just invested to join this opportunity, you would have already been in profit for doing something you're already going to do. So really and truly, it's a no-brainer. So that's for yourself. Now look at logic. This industry is the largest industry in the world, which I will go through in a second. So if it's the largest industry in the world and it's worth trillions, then if you got 0.0.0.0.0.1% of the trillions, you are very wealthy. And that's using a brand that you are allowed to be able to say that you are in partnership with brands like Expedia, Booking.com, Hilton. You are allowed to say that when you join us, for sure, okay? So that's it. You can just use that for yourself, for your friends, for your family, and if you want, customers, if you want. Then you've got the option too, okay? Now, if you think about it, you have McDonald's. Why didn't they just have the one branch of McDonald's? They're making a hell of a lot of money with the one branch. Why did they not just stay with the one branch of McDonald's? Why have they got thousands and thousands of branches around the world? Anybody want to tell me why? Anybody want to tell me why they didn't just have one McDonald's? Leverage. Yes? Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, you now have this lovely business for yourself. Just for yourself. Don't think about the customers. You love what you're doing. You go and book on Expedia, you get commission, you're happy. You're naturally going to recommend and pinch other people as we do. So when you pinch them one of two ways. You either say to them, look, don't book another trip unless you talk to me. Here's my business card. Now, based on that, and I mean it, conviction, you can tell anybody out there that you can match any quote that they've already got. Why is it you can already make that big statement? Is because you can. You can. Because the rules of the travel business state that as long as it's a genuine booking that the person has got a quote for, they will match it once you're a travel agent. Do you hear that? So that's automatic. So that's why you can already tell your customers that you can match anything that is already genuinely out there. So the beating part now is the only thing you have to do. And that is not as difficult as you think. Because I'm sure you have used a different site just because there was £2 difference. Remember, say you've got your commission. So you can play around with your commission in order to make sure that you've got the customer. And if you look at any successful business, Some of them will take a £2 loss in order to get the customer. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, do you realise that's your pitch? That's a natural pitch that you have done to secure a customer. Now you've secured a customer, they're coming back to book again. And again, and again, and again. After 2 or 3 bookings, I'll tell you the truth, I don't even go past 1. Me personally, I don't go past 1. But after 2 or 3 bookings, you can say, listen, why are you going to keep coming to me to do this? Let me bring you in so that you can actually make some commission for yourself. Come and join PAYCATION. I'll train you up, join my team, and then you can actually do this for yourself. Can you now see how you would have naturally brought in your team if you so wish to? Can you see the transition? Can you see it? And if anybody can't see the transition from going from this and how you can actually now have the chain of McDonald's out there? Everybody can see? Yeah. Good. So let's move on. Okay, let's talk about the industry very, very quickly. It is the largest industry in the world. 8 trillion a year is being spent. 27 billion a day, 1 billion an hour, 19 million a minute is being spent. 320 a second. 320,000 US a second. So since we've been sitting here, which is about what, an hour? Since you guys actually physically came, 1 billion has been made in the travel industry in 1 hour. I know I ain't getting 1 billion an hour, but I'm going to get my little piece. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, so let's put things into perspective, because I never understood what billion is. I never even paid attention to it in terms of monetary. You know, you told me about 1,000 or maybe 100,000. You know, I start paying attention, but after that it's gone over my head. Not anymore. Not anymore. Why? Because I now understand what money is, and this is a way for you to understand it here. Look at this. 1 million seconds is 12 days. 1 billion seconds is 50 years. Can you see the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire? But watch this. 1 trillion seconds is 32,000 years. This is before dinosaurs. And we say to you, that is spent in this industry 8 times over in a year. The money can't done what is in this business. Would you agree? And guess what? With people like Richard Branson trying to take people to the moon, it's going to get worse. So it's actually going to be 15,000 in the next decade that is being spent yearly in the travel business. Now, why is this information important? Well, the #1 researched word on the internet is the word travel. Yes? Full stop. Why is that important for you to know? Because it means every single person is traveling. And let's put it to the test. Who is traveling in the next 6 months? Who is traveling in the next year? Who didn't put up their hand? You better come and see me afterwards. It's a serious thing. So guess what? You know which customers do? Anybody that does not want to join PAYCATION and is not already a PAYCATIONer, I'm going to give you my card, and all I ask you to do is allow me to book your travel for you. Is that fair? Okay, fair enough. Anyway, let's move on. Rock solid. Now, rock solid is very, very important in the time that we're living in. Why? I have just come back from Dubai, and anybody keeping track of my Facebook will know, say it's not no joke thing. Okay, dream destination. But more importantly, I went over there to see how the other half live. And they're not living like how we're living right now. It's not funny. So I'm going to give an example. We're talking about marble pavements. The pavement that you're walking on, ladies and gentlemen, is marble. Okay? So why am I saying this? Is this because I want to show you that there is another life outside of the UK. And it is important that we see the world. Now, I'm going to share some experiences with you. Dubai is a top destination in the world. Would you agree? When you think of Dubai, you think about money. Yes? Well, you're going to get a shock when I show you what Paycation can do for you. These are some of the suppliers. You recognize them? Sandals, Princess Cruise, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Funjet. Right, well, Extreme Travel has been going for 12 years in the industry. Rock solid, okay? They are not new to the industry, and as I told you, they're not going anywhere, yeah? But what they've done is something that no other company on the planet has been able to do successfully yet. It's called what we call crossover marketing. What they've decided to do is say, don't try to beat Booking.com, Expedia, and all the other guys out there. Join them. Okay? Join them. Go to them and say, we have 23,000 travel agents. Do you feel that any of the people in the industry are interested in 23,000 travel agents and growing? Do you feel that suppliers are interested in doing business with 23,000 travel agents globally? You better know why. Because it's the travel agents that put the people on the plane. It's the travel agents that fill the hotels. Yeah? So you need to understand that the highest respected position, even better than a doctor, is when you say that you are a certified travel consultant. It opens doors for you. And anybody that's been following me on Facebook will know that using my status to get into the world's most expensive hotel that is made of gold, 7-star hotel in Dubai, you can't walk into there. It's £15,000 a night. And still can't walk in there unless you look a certain way. And me and my son walked in there as certified travel consultants representing Extreme Travel. Yes, that is a fact. Another thing is we had a night at the Palm Atlantis Hotel. Do your research on that, it's world famous. We were escorted around, treated like VIPs, and had a night there at the Regal Suite, where £4,000 for the night. And we had free lunch, and we also went on the water park. Free and respected. But there's something I have to do. I have to fulfill a promise. The promise is, I told them I have 550 travel agents in the UK. And that if they look after me as certified travel, which they check me out with Paycation and Extreme Travel, I will be bringing more. Who wants to come to me? Come with me as a certified travel agent when I go back. I have the official email. They are waiting for all these other travel agents to come. Okay, good. So, really and truly, I've proven, not just talk, that this, what I'm saying here, is for real. Okay? Next, you have your own website. Now, we run a traditional business. Mikey G is my good friend around the back. He's been in business for years. Mikey, how much it costs to do a proper website? All done up, you know, hosting, everything, technology, you name it, back-end systems. Roughly, how much?
Between 2 and maybe 5K.
Did you hear that? Between 2 and 5K. What about maintaining that, to keep it up to speed, and monthly, how much do you reckon, just to keep that up to?
Monthly, maybe something on the average of about £500 a month.
Okay, good. So you've just heard, if you really want to have a website that's decent in this day and age, okay? However, to have a website that can manage over 400,000 hotels and keep it up to date, flight systems, processes, you name it, send out confirmations, do everything, you better come up with a couple of million. Yes? However, Paycation gives you this instantly. Your name will be here. Your email will be there, your picture will be there. And they are in partnership with Priceline as we speak. So in other words, it's Priceline's website, but it's powered by yourself. So in other words, this is just the shop front that says PAYCATION. But the back end is the same Priceline that is worth millions. It's done for you as soon as you join. You're not paying anything for that. I tell you what you are paying, £35 a month. And I have still had people say, why have I got to pay £35 a month? You can't run a business with no risk for £35 a month. I can assure you, no staff, no inventories, nothing. Everything's done for you. That's why you're paying £35 a month, okay? So that's that. But guess what? It's a no-brainer because when you join PAYCATION, you can get between 65 and 75% commission. 65% if you don't do your CTC training, which takes 2 hours, not 2 years, okay? Now, would you want to leave money on the table just to spend 2 hours doing a multiple choice test and get 75% of the commissions, knowing that there's trillions in the industry? It makes sense just to do a 2-hour test and get 75% commission back. So in other words, Extreme Travel will get the 10% from the hotel. They'll give you 75% of it, which is 7.5%. Is that good business? Good. All right then. So that's your own Expedia. These are the partners, and I've got some exciting news to share with you all. This started in America. However, because of people like me and create demand, we are moving like crazy in the UK. So what they have done is set up an office here in the UK now. The only 2 offices in the world for PAYCATION is in Dallas in America, and now in the UK we have an office, okay? So what that means now is, it's not just going to be Priceline, Kayak, Booking.com and anybody else that you see. I've been told that as well as Expedia, we've got that partnership with Expedia right now, which is a no-brainer because they dominate the market. You now have EasyJet, you have Hotels.com, Dial a Flight, and all I've got to say is, just name anybody that you would ever book anything with. We will have them as our supplier, because that's what we call a travel agent. You are independent, so therefore you can book with anybody. So the suppliers are there, we are the agent. Pay the agent to give you a booking. That's how the system works. So even if it's not on our books, we will make it a partnership because it's in our interest too, and it's in their interest too. Okay, so don't just look at this. This is just the beginning. So eventually, if you use Sackville or you use whatever you use, if there's a demand for it, we will have it in our list of suppliers, okay? Then, this is just what we call the suppliers, because people don't understand the difference between what you are as an agent and the suppliers. The suppliers is everybody. Okay, you see this hotel? This is a supplier. Now, do you see Wembley Arena? That's a supplier. People don't understand that everything is a supplier, because don't you have to travel to get to the Wembley Arena and the football stadium? And you have to travel to get anywhere. So, a travel agent can package anything. They can package anything and sell it. So, in other words, I've got a customer and they say, listen, I want to go to the World Cup. Okay? So I've packaged the hotel, the flights and the this. Well, why can't I package the World Cup tickets too? Am I making sense? Yeah. So please understand the power of PAYCATION and what you can do with it when you are a certified travel agent. Now, as I said, you use this for yourself, but I've just given an example. Sports industry is massive and so underrated and underestimated. Big business. When you from now on hear anything about the Olympics coming back, or any World Cup or anything major in sports, tell him that go like this and pay attention. Because, I'll give you one example. Eminem was performing at Wembley about a year ago. I got stuck in Wembley, and I mean stuck in Wembley. Could not find a hotel for 30 miles. I live in Croydon, and I was in Wembley. They told me I'd have to go to Gatwick to get a hotel. So would that make sense that I'd have to go all the way to Gatwick if I wanted a hotel? Because everything within a 30-mile radius had sold out because of Eminem. That's it. Beyonce, just name them all. Kevin Hart's coming. Just think what chaos is going to cause with regards to hotels. Now pay attention, because when these things happen, you've got your foot in the door, basically, okay? So that's very, very important. Also pay attention to things like theatre, amusement parks, concerts and everything. But there's something that I also need you to pay attention to. There's trillions in the industry. Stop going around like, oh my God, I'm going to sell this, then I'm going to sell this, then I'm going to sell a cruise, I want to sell everything, I want to sell Jamaica, Italy, I just want to be all over the place. No, too much money in the business for you to do that. It's not necessary. Learn one thing. The business is not going away. So, what do you like to do? So, do you mind if I use you as an example, my darling?
Oh dear.
Okay, which country do you like to go to? One country.
One country.
Yes.
Fiji.
Fiji. Have you been?
No.
Okay. Name something that you do go. Name a country that you go regular.
Oh, I go to Texas.
Texas. You like going to Texas?
Oh, my God.
Okay, I'm going to show you something. I've never been to Texas. What's in Texas, please?
Well, my daughter's there. It's Cowboy City.
Cowboy City. Okay, so why should I go to Texas?
Everything's big in Texas.
No, this is good. It's good. Everything is big in Texas, but why do you like to? Why do you like to go to
Why
Texas?
do I like it? Well, it was just a childhood dream. I used to watch television, Bonanza and all that, and then
You like the cowboy living?
yes.
Okay, my point is, without getting into it, is we all are experts in something in the travel business already. Now, some people have this at Jamaica. Anybody go to Jamaica? Okay, anybody go more than sort of like 5 times out of 5 years, or once a year or something? No, every 2 years. Anybody go regular? Glenda? Okay, so when you go to Jamaica, where do you like to go?
Montego Bay,
Why?
because there's fun.
Why should anybody who knows nothing about Jamaica go to Jamaica?
It's a really nice island. The sun is hot. You've got good food. You've got reggae music.
That's it. That's it. Look, there's the expert there. There are people who don't know anything about Jamaica, and they would be glad for the information that Glenda has just given. So there's her niche. Can you make a lot of money if you just stayed focused on Jamaica?
Yes, because you get good deals on the hotels, and Jamaica is a top tourist destination.
So if she just stayed focused on Jamaica and said, I am a Jamaica specialist, she's in business. There are 6 billion people in the world. On Facebook, there's 1 billion. How many customers do you think you would need to be living a very comfortable life and earning about £4,000 or £5,000 a month?
About 100.
Could she get that kind of customer base just using Facebook alone if she branded herself and became an expert on Jamaica? Okay, that is the secret. Do not go all over the place. You're trying to sell this, you're trying to sell this, you just stick to one thing. You can even stick to 3 or 4. But my point is, focus. Yeah? One thing at a time. That's the secret. Plus, you don't want to get overwhelmed with the travel business, because it will overwhelm you. Alright? Now, let's move on. If you join PAYCATION and do the training that we have a step-by-step. Now, I used to be a driving instructor. Okay? Now I've added a few more things to my belt. Okay? Driving instructor, now it's going to be life instructor, then it's going to be money instructor. Am I making sense? But guess what? I learned a very serious principle from teaching people to drive. And that is, if I make one false move, I am dead and the pupil's dead. I have to make sure that whatever I'm saying to them is correct and is in the right order and at the right time. So there is a structure and there's a principle. And believe it or not, that principle and that structure can be transparent with any other thing. So if I want to be a life instructor, the same principles apply. And when you join our culture here in the UK, we teach you that structure. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when you learn to drive, you don't come in on the first lesson and I put you on the motorway, yes or no? Are you going to be happy for your first lesson to just learn about the A, B, C? Accelerator, brake, clutch. Will you be happy at the end of your lesson if you went home and said, I now know everything about the accelerator and the brake and the clutch? Next lesson, I look forward to learning how to move away. And the next lesson, and the next lesson. 6 months from then, you've got your driving license. Now that's if you're doing 2 hours. If you're doing 4 hours, 3 months from now, you've got your driving license. Am I making sense? Yeah? So the more you put in, is the sooner you can reach your goal. But you can't shortcut. That's the thing. You will not go on the motorway in your first lesson. So do not join PAYCATION and think you can go on a motorway. The motorway that I'm talking about is when you come in, don't want to do this ABC, and start telling people you're a travel agent. I can book this and I can book this and I can do this and I can... From tomorrow morning you start telling people you're going on the motorway. You're not going to last long. Am I making sense? So please, don't underestimate this. This is the ABC. Come in within 7 days and let's do this. Then we move on. Basically, if you do want to go on the motorway, can you get somebody who already has a driving license to take you on the motorway, please? And what we mean by that is if you do have clients, give it to corporate, then now change that to 50-50. It used to be 80-20, but until we get more supplies in the UK, they'll give a 50-50 split. Or better still, there are people who are already PAYCATIONers. You can do a deal with them. Let them book the travel for your clients until you learn how to go on the motorway yourself, okay? Then we move on, and that is, the day will come when you've passed your test. Yes, it will. Very quickly. Yeah, it can be a week that you're ready to go on the motorway, as long as you've gone through the steps. And when that day comes, you will be able to go on Expedia and see deals like this, best price guaranteed, go to the customer, are you happy to pay the $1,569? Yes, my darling, good. Here's my link, and it's a special link that is tracked to you only. Just send them the link, WhatsApp them the link. They will then just go and make the booking, like normal. And you are going to get 7.5%. Or, if it's a package, well, this is a hotel, so it's 7.5%. Remember, it's 10% that you get on hotels, and 75% of 10% is 7.5%, everybody with me? So you've just made 7.5% on that, which is about 130 quid. Now, would you like to make 130 quid just by actually sending the link? And it's the site they're going to already use, and they're none the wiser that you're getting paid commission in the back end? That makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, so that's what you would normally do. And that's it. Do not make this complicated. Now we get into some exciting part. Travel agents have options for themselves. Not for the clients, but for themselves. Now I'm going to show you an option. I now want to go to this place. I'm going to look at all my options before I make a decision. That's the obvious one, because I'm going to save for myself about 130 quid. Am I making sense? But it doesn't stop there. So I'm going to weigh up and say, okay, £130 if I just press a button. That's cool. But I'm going to weigh up my time as well. However, I'm going to go on this site, which is only for travel agents. This is a back office that you have to be a travel agent or in the travel business to get access to this. What I will do here now is I'll see what deal I can get for the same property, if they have it. Oh my gosh, they have it. But guess what? £840. Watch back again. 1,500, 840. So, do I want 130 for booking it on Expedia? Or do I want 50% off for booking it as a travel agent for myself? Am I making sense? Okay, but it gets even more exciting. This is standard rooms. This is premier waterfront plunge pool. It's like first class on a plane. Now, why on earth are they selling the standard rooms there and giving the travel agents first class hotel rooms here? Why? Because they don't lose any money. Because just like on a plane, when they say the plane's full up, it's not full up, you know. You mean the economy's full up. Plane full. And when you look, the front is empty. No, the plane ain't full up. But what people book is full up, which is economy. So the front of the plane is empty. So here, they're not going to give us this, unfortunately. They're not going to give us the standard rooms. That's going to take money away from them. They're going to give us the premier and the water view and the plunge pool. Because it's sitting there empty anyway. So let's kill two birds with one stone. Let's spoil that travel agent. So they're going to go back to their clients and show off. And they can also sell these rooms that are difficult to sell at certain times of the year. So they're going to get spoiled ones, win-win situation, because we're still making our money, because it was going to sit there empty anyway. That's how the industry works. It's been going for centuries, and it's not going to change. And I told you about Dubai, so you know it's true. But I'm going to tell you some bad news. If you come into the industry and you go to Travelodge, they will race you out of there very fast. If you go to EasyJet, they will race you out of there very fast. Because they don't need you to sell the budget. They don't need travel agents to do any of that. So please, when you're going to the suppliers, make sure it's as exotic as it can be. Because the more exotic it is the more they're going to give it to you. Am I making sense? Okay, good. That is good news. Now let's get into the fun part. If money and time was no issue, and when we talk about this, this is much easier than people think. Because when I say when money and time is no issue, guess what people think? Oh, I have to have £1 million in the bank. Yes or no? No. I'm going to show you how easy it is for money and time to be no issue for you. Okay. You all go to work, most of us. Yes? Yes? Okay. We go to work not for money and time being no issue, is it, really? We go to work to pay the bills and cover the roof over our head. And if you're lucky, you get about 10% of everything that you've worked so hard for. You might see 10%, or in some cases, minus 10%. No, seriously, yeah? That's what we're working for right now. That's the truth, and it's been going on for years, and it's not going to change, it's getting worse. Yes or no? So we know the reality, okay? So money and time is an issue. Yes or no? Even when you're working, it's still an issue. Okay? So then here we have to look on this now. One simple question. How much money do I need to get coming in every month for money and time to be no issue anymore for me? In other words, where I don't have to go out there. And you'll be surprised, I can already tell you the figure because it's an average figure. And it's a comfortable figure. Believe it or not, it's £2,000 a month here in the UK. Am I right or wrong, roughly? £2,000 a month. Now I just showed you one thing with Expedia. Is it really possible to make £2,000 a month from the trillions that are being made in the industry, if you put your mind to it? Even while you're working at this stage. Could it be possible? Am I making sense? So now all of a sudden, if you do achieve that goal, where £2,000 a month is coming in, regardless, that means money and time is no issue for you now. You can replace your job for the £2,000 a month that you're making. Am I making sense? That's what we call true financial freedom. It's not having £1 million in the bank. It's just finding a way to bring in what you need to bring in to cover what you are doing right now that's taking up your time. There's something taking up your time. You need to get your time back. And we need to find a way of doing that. So here we are. Time and money is no issue now. So the problem's been solved. What are you going to do when time and money is no issue for you? Anybody want to suggest? I'll come up with a few, and then if you guys can add to it. Would you go on a Mediterranean cruise? Any of you? Okay, good. So you'd cruise the Caribbean or the Mediterranean. What about this place? Santorini? Beautiful. Okay. All right. Nicoya? Yeah. Las Vegas. And my favorite. This is the 7-star hotel that we went to. Dubai. Okay? A must. And I did say I'm going to tell you something, and I think it's time to tell you now. How much do you think it will cost to go to Dubai for 8 nights for 2 people, and you want a 4-star hotel apartment? You don't want a hotel, you want an apartment where you've got the kitchen, everything, and I want a perfect view of Dubai, and you want a nice car to take you around for the 8 nights, and you want a flight as well for 8 nights. Any idea how much that would cost per person, please? Anybody want to put a figure on it? 6,000 just to get for 8 nights. Yes, 6,000. Anybody else? 12,000 for a week. Anybody else? 7, 8,000. Anybody got any other figure? Okay. £650. £650. And if anybody wants me to send them my Expedia booking confirmation as proof, I will tell you it costs me and my son £650 through Expedia to book the flight, the accommodation, and the car rental. Perfect setup. As soon as I got to the airport, Emirates was waiting for me, checked me in. As soon as I got to Dubai, just showed my voucher, the car was waiting for me. And did I push it? Yes, I did. I'm a CTC. I know you give me this lovely little Mini, but I want a Fiesta, top of the range, because I've got one of them at home, and it makes sense for me to just drive the same car that I have at home. Can you just give me this upgrade, please? They did. Free, because I'm a travel agent. Then when I got to the hotel, 4th floor, lovely view, really nice, but guess what? Can you give me the 24th floor, please? And can you give me an executive studio rather than a normal studio? They did. I have all this documented. Free. Why? Because we are travel agents. Do you understand that? Yeah? And I'm going to train every single one of you that join our organisation to do it and do it properly. Alright? So there we are. That's the facts. This hotel, by the way, we didn't get to stay a night, unfortunately, here. But we stayed as long as we could. So I just saved £14,000 just because I didn't put my head on that pillar. Because it's £14,000 a night to stay here. Wow. Do you understand that? So this is serious. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, Bora. Anybody else got anywhere that they'd like to go? Bora, anybody else, any other destination that time and money is no longer an issue? Where would you like to go? Anybody? Yeah, good. Anywhere else? Good, I like that. Anybody else want to go somewhere? Okay, good. So guess what? In the travel business, do not, no matter where you are going, do not spend more than £700. That's it. And that's top of the range. That's the buy level. I'm talking the average £200, and I'm going to show you what our travel club can do. Let's just see this it's in US at the moment, but we are converting it into pounds because we're now in the UK. But I'm just going to tell you that this is about £200. This is about £250, okay? Now these are top of the range. Destinations all inclusive for 3 nights. Do not pay more than £200, £300 as a travel agent to go on short breaks. So that's that. Here, this one is a real no-brainer. If you look at this figure, now you can't see it, it says 1600 US. Now that's the average, am I right? That's about £1,000 to go to one of these beautiful destinations. I mean, we're looking at here, let me see, I can't even see it properly. I saw, what's this one at the top here? I can't even see it. Bahamas, yeah, Bahamas, and all these, these are the top destinations, okay? Now, these are all inclusive, some of them are room only. Now, this £1,000 is for 8 days, 7 nights, okay? That's still good, you know, because that's what people are paying, and they're happy to pay that. But not in the travel business. We get that for £200. £200. But guess what? That's for 4 of you. That's £50 each to stay in a 1-bedroom apartment that sleeps 4. That's amazing, okay? So your mindset now is completely different when you're in the business. So here we go. When there are new hotels opening up globally, we pay attention as travel agents because we rub our hands together because we're excited. Because when a new development opens, and remember, the more exotic it is, the better it is for us. We get excited because they spoil the travel agents for up to 2 years before the public even go anywhere near it. When there is a new development globally, the travel agents get spoiled, rotten. Tell me why they are trying to attract the travel agents. Because it's them that's got the clients. Do you understand that? So guess what they're doing now? This is better than Beyonce and Jay-Z can't touch this. You're going to get picked up in this lovely limousine. This is your apartment. Brand spanking new. Look how beautiful that is. Let me just go back to the view. Please don't. Just look outside here when you go back out there and then... Yeah? Big difference, yeah? So all of this now, any idea how much this would cost, please? Anybody give me an idea for a week here at this presidential suite in, one is in Dominican Republic, brand new, it's in our back office now as we speak. No, just not, no, you wouldn't do this. If somebody said, boy, you know, let's go and do this, we want to treat ourselves, we're going to save up for 10 years, and, you know.
10 years.
Yeah, you know the lifetime ones that we do, okay? Save up for 10 years, the honeymoon thing, you know that one. So now, how much would you spend for this?
I'd say 3,000.
3,000 for the week? Anybody else got any figures? This, come on, look at this is top of the range. 5,000 for the week? Okay, okay. Oh God, I could do with that settee right now. Seriously. Right, oh Lord, this is beautiful. Okay. Right, here is 224 US, £137 for the week, but it gets worse. Whether it's 4 people, 6 people, or 8 people, it's £137. If I divide that by 8 people, I don't think we've got 1 pence. This is serious. This is there in the back office. Any PAYCATION is in the room. Yes. Am I lying?
Marcia, Marcia.
Yeah.
Say it again.
What?
What you just said.
I said, I don't think it comes to 1 pence. If you divide the 137 for 8 nights, between 8 of you, it might be about £2 each per night. Serious thing. I'm seeing £2. Wait a minute, let me go back. No, seriously. Hold on. £2 a night for this. And it's in the back office now. So what is stopping me, you and everybody? It's in the back office and we're still not booking it. I'm going to tell you why we're not booking it. Yeah. Because I told you there's 4 parts to success. There is saving money. Yeah. We got that part covered. Yeah. There's getting our time back, which we just discussed. Yeah. And there's the taxman thing. Oh, by the way, do you know, so you can write off all of this with the taxman? Because you're working. You're working. You have to test out the service. It's your job to go over there and do research on it. So all of that gets written off. And you staying here is getting written off as well. And the clothes you had to buy. Yeah, the shoes. Everything is business. I'm serious. Okay? So, now it gets very exciting because there's something that we do need to solve. Unfortunately, in the travel business, we don't get free flights anymore. We used to 15 years, 20 years ago, but not anymore. So that means we still get over there. Okay? So the flight, unfortunately, there's nothing that we can get out of the flight. You might get a little upgrade here and there, but you're not going to get, you're going to have to pay money, unfortunately. So then that means you've got to find £300–400 to actually get to Dominican Republic. But we've got a solution for that too. Okay? So what is that solution? The solution is this. Here is what we call PAYCATION-only trips. You have to be a paycationer to come to these PAYCATION-only trips. These are what we call conventions. Anybody have to go to work meetings and training programs at work? You have to go. They might even put you up in a hotel because, you know, you've got to do this training course or something. Anybody have to do that at work? Okay. Well, it's not really fun, is it? You don't even want to talk to. You go and tell everybody about it and say, boy, at work today, you know, I had to do and learn about physics and I had to do this new course about this and God knows what else. You don't really go around showing off about it, do you? Okay, but what we have to do these conventions when you're in the travel business. Have anybody heard of the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas? Okay, well this is Little Italy and it's inside the hotel. It's inside. Beautiful. But guess what? As the convention, we get it for an amazing price of £200 for 5 nights. 5-star hotel at the Venetian for £200 for 5 nights. That's amazing. Then, we just came from Mexico, 5 days, it was £300 all inclusive. And this is work. This is us, the 23,000 agents, meeting up 3 or 4 times for the year. Yeah? And we're having a business meeting, basically. But it's on the beach. Yeah? Sounds good, innit? Okay? Right, so, it's a very sexy industry, isn't it, the travel business? Everybody's excited about it, yeah? But at the end of the day, it's all good and well saying, yeah, Marcia, man, this is all good and everything, but, you know, travel, I don't like to travel, I just can't afford to travel. And let's be real, you know? We can't afford to do it, so we've got to kind of make sure that we put ourselves in a position where we can. Now, if this was £200 a month, I would still pay it right now. Because the last trip I just experienced, I told you, I saved about £5,000. So it's a no-brainer for me, okay? However, as I told you already, and I gave you a clue on this, let me remind you, you've got all of these options here. And this is 92, oh, so by the way, it's gone up because of the exchange rate. Say it's about 100 quid now, and £37 a month. Is it worth it? Yes. That's just the travel side of the business. So if you're traveling and you want to make money on the travel side, just for yourself and everything, that's it. So just on the travel side, who is interested in joining PAYCATION? None of you? Oh, one? Okay. If, just on the travel side, if you're not interested in joining PAYCATION, why? So I just think it's important, just on the travel side. There's a business side to it as well, but it's good to get feedback. Any reason why you wouldn't join?
Well, because I faint on planes.
You faint on planes, that's a good reason. That is a really good reason. Any other reason why you wouldn't join PAYCATION? Anybody else? She faints on a plane, that's a serious reason. Okay, any other reason why you wouldn't join PAYCATION?
I'm not saying I wouldn't join PAYCATION, but I'm more interested in the other one.
You mean the business? Okay, good. Is there anybody that wouldn't, just for the travel side? So that means, are you all interested in the business side then?
Yeah.
Maybe if it was the business side, you guys would be interested. Okay, well, I've got some good news. You're going to get a free business tonight. In other words, what I'm going to show you now, you don't have to pay anything more. It's there for you if you want it. So what am I going to show you? I'm going to show you the compensation plan. And that is very, very simple. If you decide, after you've been going through the basics for yourself, remember that, please do not skip that step. When you've now opened your own McDonald's, and you know how to sell the burger and the chips, then you can go and open another McDonald's. Make sense, Mikey G? Good. So you've learned how to manage your own McDonald's. Then you can go and open another McDonald's. So who are we going to open the McDonald's with? This lady that likes to faint on planes? Do you mind that if I can show you and train you and guide you to do what I do, would you consider joining PAYCATION? You don't have to pay any more than the same money that we've talked about earlier. Would you consider joining me? You would. Say that again.
Definitely.
Right, there's my first sign up. Okay? But why? And the question is, because we need a solution with or without PAYCATION. You need a solution, I need a solution. Why? The world is not standing still. Inflation is grabbing us back on a massive scale. Yes or no? More importantly, the most declining industry right now is your job. The apps, the software, the computers is taking away your jobs by the second. No job is safe. Teachers, they're using apps now to teach the classrooms. Yeah? Even doctors, they're performing surgeries using computers. It's not funny what's happening. So we need to recognize that no job is safe. You need to have a plan B. So we see this as a serious plan B, because nothing can stop people from traveling. Because it's so bad that when it comes to leisure, people will not eat, but they'll make sure they top up their mobile phone. That's true. They'll make sure they've got credit on their phone. They'll make sure that they're still having some form of entertainment. Yes or no? It's what's keeping people sane. So nothing is going to take over the leisure industry. It's excelling. So if that's the case, yeah, then basically duplication is the key to success. And I'm going to show you the formula. And if you want to write this down, please write this down. 5 steps to success. 1, recruit yourself in the business. 2, train yourself. We have 20 steps that is successful. Just go through the 20 steps. It can take you 2 hours, 3 hours max. Get your 20 steps done. Learn your ABC. Okay? Train yourself. Number 3, spoil yourself. What do I mean? I told you about my little experience with Dubai. You don't have to take it to Dubai. Go and book a hotel. Know that this thing is real. You can do something small, okay? But it's important for you to do it because it's what we call conviction. Nobody can challenge me right now. You can see it in my eyes. Because of the conviction. I've been there, seen it, done it. So nobody, if you don't want to join PAYCATION, that's fine, but I've done it. You don't have to go to Dubai to do it. just book something and go through the process. Am I making sense? Okay, so spoil yourself. Number 4 is very important. Promote yourself in that order. Okay? Now this is what I call going on the dual carriageway before the motorway. So, you are now promoting yourself, but you're not on the motorway yet. But if you've done the first step, the second step, the third step, you should be in a position now to promote yourself because you've built up a track record. Does that make sense? The track record is, I joined. Do you know how many people tell me they'll join when they've got their 10 people? Yeah, you're going to join when you've got 10 people. How are you going to join when you've got 10 people? I don't understand that one. So you want somebody to do something that you're not doing? No, that doesn't make sense. So, recruit yourself, train yourself, spoil yourself, and then promote yourself. Yeah? And then last but not least, duplicate yourself. You're now ready to go and get more McDonald's. Do you understand? That's it. Do not make this thing more complicated, and we make sure that we train you through the process. We have Kalpish Patel, who is here, who is going to go through some training, deep, intense training with you all in a little while, okay? But I'm now going to wrap up by saying, let me show you the money. The money is very simple. When we are talking about the duplication, that's where we're at now. We've done everything else. The duplication is, you pinch your cousin, but you don't pinch them like this. I'm going to tell you the right way and the wrong way to pinch somebody. The wrong way is, Glenda, if I could show you how to make some money and, you know, travel probably, yeah, would you consider? I've got an upline that can show you the business. I'm still kind of getting there, but, you know, maybe, probably. Would you consider? Forget that. That ain't going to work, okay? Now this is the right way to duplicate yourself. You know that spoil yourself thing that you just did? Okay? You go with that. Glenda, I just stayed at the Hilton Hotel and they upgraded me, gave me free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and they gave me an executive room. I didn't have to pay another penny. Do you want to know how it comes? That's it. What did she just say? So what does that mean? She was excited. There it is. You just highlighted a benefit based on your own experience. She said yes. So now, what do? You don't do this, well, they're having a presentation next month, and if you want to come, you know, I can put you on my guest list. Wrong. Glenda, seriously, you know me a long time. You need to join PAYCATION. I have a team of serious people. There's 20 steps that you'll go through. Come in. It's now what? Yes or no? Am I making sense? People buy people. They don't buy products. They buy you. They buy you, your friendship, your trust, your relationship. So as long as you have the conviction, you've been through the process, haven't you? Because you shouldn't be doing this unless you have. So then she can trust you. Because as long as she comes in now, what are you going to do? Let me see the first person that can come up and tell me what they're going to do when Glenda says, okay, I trust you, I'm going to come in. What is the first thing that you are going to do when Glenda says, I'm coming in? Anybody know? You are going to start the process again with Glenda. You are going to recruit Glenda. You're going to join her up under your website. You're going to train her with the same process that you use, the 20 steps. You are going to show her how to spoil herself. You're then going to, what's next? You're going to show her how to do what you just did, which is to pique interest with an experience that she already had. Am I making sense? Now here's another one. If you don't have your own experience, but you know somebody in PAYCATION that has, like me, with the Dubai thing, you can use that. So even if you don't have your own, you can use somebody in PAYCATION that has got one. But you must use the conviction. Because if the conviction is there, not there, it's not going to happen. And then the process starts again, and again, and again. And if you use that formula, I guarantee you, you equally will have 550 people in 8 months. You will, I promise you. Okay? So thank you very much for that, Glenda. So then now we're going to show you what's going to happen. Glenda's coming because she's happy. So let's just call her Barbara. Barbara's coming, you've got back £30 within a week. Within a week, they pay weekly. Yeah? Then Ron's coming, and you're going to watch the snowball. Because remember, you're following a process now. You've got, oh my God, Glenda's in, I can find Ron. You've gone to Ron and you said, Ron, come in. This is what happens when you come. Yeah? Now, every one of us know 100 people. Yes, we do. 100 people. By the time you talk about your doctor, don't forget your doctor. Don't forget the people at school. Don't forget. It's not funny. The people at your school, not for you, but also your children's parents and all of that. We all know 100 people. I'm telling you, we do. When you start writing down the list, you'll be surprised. Do not prejudge them. Don't already say, boy, that one's not for them. This is not for them. That one's not going to do this. This is not that. No. 2 things. Does everybody want to make some money? Yes. Does everybody want to travel? Yes. So that's the pre-qualification. Let me tell you, the final qualification is this, and it's so simple, and it's this. Do you like to travel? No. Do you want to make some money? No. That person is not qualified. Why are you going to sit there trying to force her to travel? Why are you going to try and force her to make some money? If she wants to make some money, come on board. If she wants to travel, come on board. If she wants one, you can still come on board. If she wants both, she can come on board. If she wants none, next. There's 6 billion people out there. Why are you flogging a dead horse? I don't mean in a disrespectful way, please understand. I mean dead as in it's not qualified. The person doesn't want what you have. And sometimes it's timing. Am I making sense? So don't think just because you went to her and said, hey, do you want to travel? No. Do you want to make some money? No. That might be now. But trust me, the way things are going, if you did your work properly and left it open, which is, listen, I hear you. But guess what? I can save you a lot of money on traveling, and I have an opportunity for you to make some money. Here's my business card. All I ask is, keep in touch. And do you mind if I actually send you some information every now and again? If you can leave it at that, then you'll be surprised what will happen. Am I making sense? Okay, you've not even spent no time telling them about the opportunity. Yeah? So, here you are, Barbara, Ron and Nancy. You've got £90. How much did I say roughly it costs to get in a business? So you got your money back. Okay? Now, do you realise that you can do that as a job? It's called retail. How many of us do buying and selling, where you buy something and you sell it? You buy something and you sell it. You buy something and you sell it. So what's the product that we're selling? Travel and the chance for you to have your own business. Do you think there's a market for people who want to travel? Is there a market for people who want to make some money from home? So that's the product. £30 a time, £30 a time. So if you could do that, if you just wanted to do that 10 times, if you were serious and you wanted to do that, yeah, you could easily sell, with the right coaching, 10 packages a day. I'm serious. Could you sell 10 packages a day? It's a business, remember. You're selling a product. And you were groomed and trained properly. If you put your mind to it, and you were structured properly, could you sell 10 packages a day? Just as a consumer. Just, I mean, as a person selling it to a consumer. Could you? Yeah? Okay, so then that 10 packages a day means £300 to you a day. Times that by 5 days, that's 1,500, no, 300, yeah, that's £1,500 a week. Okay, so cut that down, come on, 5 packages a day. Yeah, that's £750 a week. Okay, let's cut that down again, yeah? Now we're talking what? 2 packages a day? Yeah? So that's what, £300 a week? £1,200 a month? That's just one income stream. So just by doing that, you could probably make an income. But guess what's going to happen? Paycation is very generous. What are they doing is they want longevity and they want 1 million travel agents in 5 years. They want it. And they're going to get it. So therefore they have a plan. And the plan is, let us pay you a residual if you get promoted. So they want you to keep getting promoted. So here, you came in as a CTC. Then now, you actually brought in 3 people. Whether you like it or not, unfortunately, you're going to get promoted. It's an automatic promotion. You are now going to be what we call an executive. So they're going to give you an extra £12 without you doing anything. Just because you got those 3 people. So you're now making £42 each time. £42, £42, £42. You can do this for infinity. So you could bring in 100 people and you will be getting £42, £42 from the 3rd person on. Any questions so far? Okay, so we're all clear about that. But then something else happens. And that is, all of a sudden, my son told you that he saw money in his back office and he's thinking, why is that? Well, basically, what he did is, he's been on Facebook for years and Instagram. Most of the youngsters, and not youngsters, but young men, they're pros at this Facebook and Instagram and all of that. But so what he did is, he did what he normally does, which is go and share the opportunity with people. So he shared the opportunity, blasted it out to his Facebook people. 10 people, because he's got 500 people on his thing. 10 people joined immediately. So now he has, so how much money? The first 2 £30 each, yeah? And then the other, so anybody tell how much he made on the 10 people that joined? Any idea? Anybody can quickly give the maths? 700 and the other 2, 8, come on, help me out. I know it's 700 for the 800. No, it's not. Come on, help me out. Daniel's doing the maths. Tell me how much it was, Daniel. 30, you get £30 for the first 2, that's £60. And the other 8, you get £42. Yeah?
Times 8.
Yeah, so 8 times 42, and then the other 2 is £60. So just tell me how much that was on the first level.
About 500 quid.
No, somebody said 3 what?
8 times 42 is 336.
Plus 60. 396. Now that's a good deal, isn't it? So he's paid out £100 for his business, and he got 396 from them 10 people that joined. That's a good deal, yeah? Good. But that was just the beginning. All of a sudden, he's now getting a passive income of £12 from all of his people who decided to bring other people too. Am I making sense? Because remember, everybody's bought into the business. They're going to work with the 5-step duplication process, aren't they? Some of them are, yeah? Am I making sense? So therefore, they're building their business now, yes or no? The franchises are growing. So Daniel's franchises are growing. Yeah, McDonald's is opening around the world. Yeah? Yeah, or PAYCATION, yeah? So here we are. Daniel's now getting £12 from the first 2 that they recruit. They're coming up to him. The first 2, we call it gold-coded DNA. The first 2 that his team recruit is coming up to him. And that's going to go on for the rest of his life. without him doing anything. Yeah? Hence the growth of the business. Mandy is the same, and Glenda and the rest of the people. So then why is this exciting? Because this is what we call a passive monthly income. But the good news is this is not paid monthly. This is paid as they join. So this is weekly. This is a weekly income. Am I making sense so far? So now why it gets so exciting is, if you do the maths on this, £12, £12, do the maths on 550 people, £12. Can you see what's happening here? Yeah? Then it goes to 1,000 people. It's not stop growing, is it? £12. Then it's 2,000 people, £12. You planted the seed. Then you're going to reap from the harvest. Now people say, oh yeah, this is a pyramid. Your job is a pyramid. The man at the top is the only man that's making money in your business. You understand what I'm saying? We've turned this around. Everybody has an equal right here to run their business. And that's how it should be. You understand? Equality. This is what this is. Yeah? So, now we move on. That's one income stream, ladies and gentlemen. It's paid weekly. This one is also paid weekly. It's another income stream. By the way, there is 20 income streams. I'm not going to sit here going through all 20 of them. I'm only going to show you 4. And I can assure you, by the time I go through the 4 income streams, I am easily going to show you 20 to 50,000 a month with the 4 income streams. Yes. So how? Basically, the next income stream is this. 150, this one, 100% match. Do you realize that I get 150% match on my son's income? Yeah. Everybody that's coded to my son is coded to me. So when he earns the £12, I earn £18. Just like that. Because he was one of my first 2. Your first 2 people that you bring in the business, you are paid 150% match. That's it. Full stop. That's it. You don't have to do anything. You've done it already. That's it. Then, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, the 10 people that he's brought in, you get 100% match. So from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, you're getting 100% match. So if you brought in 100 people, you're getting 100% match of their income. Do the maths, please. Work it out. It's a serious money. You know what that means? If you can help your team, I help my son. Say I want him to, he wants to make £2,000 a month. That's a good goal, isn't it? Because we all want that, yeah? He wants £2,000 a month. Just by helping him to make £2,000 a month with the duplication 5-step process, I'm going to make £3,000 a month. 150% match. And then from your 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th person on, I'll get 100% match. So if I help Glenda, who's my 3rd or 4th person, and she makes £2,000 a month, I will make £2,000 a month as well. 3,000 from Daniel, 2,000 from Glenda. Mandy is 100%. I get 150% match from my son, and I forgot to mention my mother. You know why I keep forgetting to mention her? She has over 550 people in her downline and she doesn't even know that she's in vacation. Do you understand that? So I'm getting 150% match from her income too, because she was my 2nd person. Do you understand what I'm trying to show you here? Now, why did I make my mother the 2nd person? Why not? It makes sense for me to allow her to retire. Do you understand that? Doesn't it make sense to make my son come in first? no matter what he gets to retire to? Am I making sense? So before you even bring in your team, line up your friends and family. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to conviction. So here we are, 100% match. There you are, £12 from everybody. That is serious money. I want you to all set your own goals. I'm not going to tell you my goals, you have to set your own goals, and we teach you to do that. Okay? Now I'm just going to show you the power of the £12 alone. Here, 3 people, you brought in 3. They did exactly the same if you guys don't do anything. Not much. Yes or no? But if you get on board now and you work with your systems and your processes and your team and your upline, this can happen to you. Okay? Here, I told you 550 people. So that means if I had 27 people, then I'd be earning £324. How many people did I say have in the organisation? 550. So on this little £12, roughly, you can work out the monthly income coming in on 550 people. On the £12. Not the 100% match, not the 150% match. Just this little £12. Am I making sense? While I'm sitting here, I know when I go on my phone, there are going to be some alerts telling me somebody else has joined, somebody else has joined. Another £12, another £12. Am I making sense? So this is very, very powerful. So could anybody do with another 9k per month, with a 6 months plan, if you were to follow a proven success formula, 9k a month coming in, just from the £12? Right, so that's just one. I've told you the 100% match, I've told you the 150% match. I'm now going to show you this. The first thing that you should always aim to do is remove the £37 a month that you pay now. Now you can do that in 4 weeks, because you can run through the 5 steps in a week. Then now, here is another income stream. Basically, all they're going to do is pay you for the same process. Look, if you look 39, 27, 81, the exact same process that you're already going through. You didn't have to do anything more than you're already doing. And they're now going to pay you monthly, unfortunately. This is not weekly. They'll pay you £3.60 for the 3, 9, 32. Add them together, that's £35. It means your monthly fee is no longer coming out your credit card. We have what's called an e-wallet, and as long as you've got £35 in there, the monthly fee doesn't come out of your credit card, it comes out of your e-wallet. Anybody in the room can verify that, please? So that makes sense. It means now you've got free business. And then everything else is profit. Okay? Now, there are 20 other income streams. I'm not going to run through them, please. That's motorway stuff. We've done enough, but if you want to know more about how to drive on the motorway, then we can tell you more about that. But I've given you more than enough that can make you £20,000 a month. This stuff is when you want to go big, okay? So we can go through that another time. But this one is a natural process. Here, you've come into the business. You've recruited yourself, you trained yourself. Good. You're ready to go and do your spoiling, which I told you to do, spoil yourself. Now you're ready to promote yourself. So you've got the 3 people. You're automatically going to be promoted to an executive. Then you're going to get the bug. Because these 3 are going to fly the nest. Because you're going to take them through the 5-step process. They don't need you anymore, do they? Once you've done that 5-step process. So you're going to get the bug, and you have more conviction. You've also got your money back. You're going to go and get another 3. Remember, there's 6 billion people in the world and 1 billion on Facebook alone. So you get the bug now to go and get another 3. So what happens now is you get promoted again. You become a regional. other bonuses kick in, but as I said, that's motorway stuff, and you will just start to see the money. When you see the money, you'll start asking questions. Yeah? But right now, Rome wasn't built in a day. I see this as A, B, C. Okay? Then we go up to the real big money. And that is, you start to get all 7 levels of the matrix, all other bonuses kick in, everything starts kicking in, and you start going on the motorway. And that is 10 people in your organization. Yeah? Now, any nationals in the room, please? Glenda, Daniel, Mandy. What a coincidence. Let me say that again. The penny has not dropped. Any nationals in the room, please? Sorry. Glenda, Mandy, and Daniel. Do you notice they were the first 3 that came into PAYCATION in May? So what's the advantage, do you think, that they had? Why they're all nationals now? Anybody know? They took action. They're in the same position that you're in today. But they said yes. They didn't say no. There's other friends that you told at the time. They're not nationals. They're not even in PAYCATION. Because they said no. So one person said yes, the other person said no. Now, Glenda is a national, the friend is not. Glenda has now got an hope to have her life back. The friend is still struggling. Am I making sense? It was a £90 decision. So it's about saying yes or no. Nationals. Okay, international. Mandy is about to be an international executive. The first, how many have I got now? I can't keep up. I think there's 1, 2. Mandy will be the 2nd international executive in our organisation, in our downline. Now, it's going to give me great pleasure to give Mandy that award, because she deserves it. And I would like you all to give this woman a big round of applause right now. She is a star, okay? International executive, Mandy is going to be. Now, notice, Ashley, you are a national and you did not come up.
No, what happens?
You're a national. You dropped down. You are a national, please.
You've done the work,
You are already there. Just because you dropped down 1, you've got there, your status is there. So next time I ask for the nationals, you make sure you put up your hand as well. And by the way, that is Mandy's daughter, who also said yes, as well as my son, okay? So that yes is very powerful. Now, I am just about to become a presidential. I'm going to be honest with you. International, I've done that, okay, so that's done. But I'm going to be honest with you. I actually want to be the first diamond in the UK. And then, as far as I'm concerned, my job has been done. Because if I have achieved in this level, diamond, it means I have paved the way for you all. I promise you. If somebody else, because there's other people coming into the UK like crazy now, the storm is here. I will not have the same level of, how can I put it, authority, okay, to make the decisions that I've been making to make sure that I've kept you all safe and make sure that things have been done in a certain way. Now, don't get me wrong, PAYCATION is here for life. This ain't going nowhere. And people are going to drive you crazy. Yeah? The same people that you ain't going to are gonna come to you. So it makes sense for you to just come on board, because they're going to drive you crazy, because this ain't going nowhere. And in July, we are planning to do the biggest campaign that has ever existed here in the UK. So you need to get on board and ride the tide. So, diamond is what I'm more interested in right now. So, and it's going to happen. Yeah? It's going to happen. So we move on, and we move on, and we move on. Diamond will give me an additional 1,000, which is US, which is £613. But it's not even so much for money, and I mean that. Not a lot of people can say that and mean it. But it's about the change that we can make, the legacy that we can leave, the doors that we can open. And Cowpish is going to go very, very deep into what that really, really means. I am honoured that when I first saw these guys on a video, I'm sure you guys have seen them on the video, Shiniza, Tonya, Shedrick White, Trey, Donald, at our last presentation, I was honoured to be sitting at the top table with these particular people. I just thought, yes, my first goal has been achieved. Okay? First goal. Final goal is that I aim to just be the first diamond or have the first diamond in my organisation. Once that's done, my job has been done. Because I know what's going to happen after that. Yes? So, please, I would love you to see this. Look at the bigger picture. Think about the freedom. Think about the change. Think about what we can do now, collectively. And I wish you all the best. I want to have a 15 minutes break right now. And I want to see you guys in my back office. And let's make this happen. Thank you very much. March, Kensington is the venue. If you want to join, you will know. They are flying in all the way from Atlanta, America, and they are coming over, okay, for a big, prestigious event. So we really want to see you guys on the other side. So I'd love to know that you guys have made a decision. You've said, yes, I'm going for this. This is it. And you've joined us, okay? So we have Cowpish Patel, who is, how many? 6 million he has earned in this industry. He knows a thing or two. And he is now here to pump you up, to fire you up, so that you are actually ready to conquer the world. Please put your hands together for Cowpish Patel! Great honor, good friend.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
We all excited today?
Yes.
I can't hear any excitement in that voice. We excited today?
Yes. Yes.
Is this on?
Hold on. Let me get you on. Try again.
Hello, hello, testing.
Try again.
Hello, testing, testing. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Is there a button on here?
1, 2.
Oh, there you go. Okay, we're on. Are we excited?
Yeah.
All right, that's better. Quick show of hands. Who's already in the company? Show me your hands if you're already in. Wow, congratulations to all of you. Give them all a big warm round of applause. Who's made a decision to be in but hasn't actually signed up just yet, or is in the process of making a decision? Show me your hands. The new people. Okay, congratulations. Well, let's give these guys a warm round of applause as well. What are we applauding? That's the question. What are we actually applauding? Action. What else are we applauding? The decision. Who said that? The decision. Wow. The power of decision. Nothing changes until a decision is made. Who knew that? When people make a decision, everything changes. You can change the complete course and direction of your life by making one decision. Who's made decisions in the past that impacted your future in a way that you could never have even imagined when you made that decision? It's completely changed where you're at today because you made a decision somewhere in your life in the past. Who's ever done that? Yeah, the decisions that we make in life, impact where we end up in life. Let me go backwards a little bit. Imagine this. If you could predict your success in advance, who would do that? Of course you would, right? People aren't successful by accident. You get people saying, oh, they were lucky. They're in the right place at the right time. You can be in the right place at the right time and not make the right decision. You're not, it doesn't mean you're unlucky, it means you're a lousy decision maker. Yeah. Is that making sense? Yeah. It's nothing to do with the right time, right place, nothing to do with luck. It's all to do with the decisions you make. When you decide to eat a Big Mac, it's a decision. Are you with me? People don't relate to it like a decision, but it's a decision. When you eat a Big Mac, there's an impact in your future to making that decision. Who understands what I'm saying? Wow. When you decide not to eat the Big Mac, and you swap that decision to go for a nice, juicy, nutritious salad instead, that has an impact in the future. Who understands what I'm saying right now? But if you're not making decisions, if you're just doing what you always did, if you're on autopilot, if you're not questioning your actions on a daily, consistent basis, you have no say in where you land in the future. If you find yourself on a hospital bed, chances are, not always, there's always extremes, there's always kind of exceptions to the rule, but the chances are there are some decisions you made in your past that had you land on that bed. Is that making sense? What if you could decide in advance to reduce the chances of landing on a hospital bed? Who thinks they're powerful decision-making processes right there? Yeah. What if you could reduce the chances of retiring broke? Most people, that will go over them, right? What do you mean? How do you do that? 95% of people retire broke. What percentage? 95. Say that again. 95. Some of you say it like you don't believe me. 95% of people retire broke. What? Broke. Who knows that feeling? Yeah. I've been there. It's not a nice feeling. I've been so broke I didn't know how I was going to eat tomorrow.
Come on, preach. I feel you.
With me?
Yes.
Doesn't have to be that way. 9.5 out of every 10 people you know, look left, look right, look in the road behind you, look around you. Only one of you in the 10 that you can see is going to make it by the time you're 65. Which one is it going to be?
Me.
Everyone's arguing for that spot now, right? But you can have a say. Guess who retires broke? People that say no. Wow. People that say no to opportunity. People that don't open their eyes to what else is going on around them. The world has never lacked opportunity. Whatever generation you are born in, whether it's 1,000 years ago, 100 years ago, or 100 years in the future, the world has never lacked opportunity. There's always people that have and people that have not. The 95% is not a modern phenomenon. Oh, it's because of the government. Nothing to do with the government. You can change the government, still everyone retires broke. Does that make sense? It's the economy. Nothing to do with the economy. You can change the economics. It's been scientifically tested through mathematicians at Harvard. They did this study based on who ends up with the money. It's a really interesting subject. They studied success inside out, upside down, back to front, and here's what they realised. If all of the wealth in all of the world was redistributed equally, so everyone got exactly the same amount of money, the people that were broke would go back to being broke, and the people that had the money would go back to having the money. Because it's nothing to do with how much you got. It's everything to do with what decisions you make once you got it. Hello? Some people got jackets that cost more than it does to start a business. Some people got phones that that costs more than it does to start a business. Is that making sense? Here's what poor people do when you give them money. Spend it. Hello? They walk around in £300 shoes. They can't pay their rent next month. What? You with me? Yeah. Poor decisions lead to poverty. You've got to shift the way you're making decisions, right? You give money to a smart, intelligent entrepreneur, that person thinking, how can I double this money? Got £100 saved up, how can I turn that into £200? How can I turn 200 into 2,000? How can I turn 2,000 into? 10,000, 20,000. Here's how it goes. Climb as far as you can see, you'll always see more. You don't have to see the million straight away. In fact, people that talk about a million straight away, and if they're broke, chances are they're not doing much about it anyway. They're sat in a pub on a Friday night talking about being a millionaire. This time next year. Who knows people that talk about money but never do anything about it? Plenty of those around, right? Talk about driving fast cars, shopping expensive shops, doing all that stuff, and they're sat in a pub on a Friday night. Hello? Here's how the maths of success goes. Sitting in a pub on a Friday night does not equal success. It's really simple maths. Who gets that maths? It's easier than A-level, right? Yes. Success leaves clues. Richard Branson doesn't rush home on a Wednesday night to catch EastEnders. Who knows that? It's Coronation Street. People start, ouch, did you see who killed Ben or whatever it was? Someone died in EastEnders or something? Someone killed someone? All over Facebook. I'm getting this post, someone killed this person. It's like, who gives a crap? They're not paying my bills. You with me? Here's what I say, television is a right that needs to be earned. You can't afford to watch TV if you're not making serious money outside of those hours. Because being broke hurts too much. Here's the thing, you don't have to be broke. That's the key, right? When you realise that you don't have to be broke, then it's just a case, right, what decisions am I going to make so that my future looks brighter than my next door neighbours? The first decision could be, what do I have to do to get out of debt? The number one killer in the world, anyone know? Bills. They need to stress. Imagine this now. Imagine a bill comes through the door and you're so busy making money you can't be bothered to open the bill, you just get your secretary to pay it. Do you think that's a better way to live? Can you see it's just a subtle decision? You can decide to focus on the bill and panic and be stressed and die of a heart attack at 45. Or you can focus on making money so bills are taken care of and you're thinking of a bigger picture. It's the dreamers in this world that make things happen. Are you with me? Some people forgot to dream a long time ago. Who likes to dream? It's only the dreamers that change the world. I'm a dreamer. Ever since a young age, I've dreamt of things better than they were. I saw my mum and dad be so poor, they made poor people look rich. 37 people living in a 4-bedroom house in East London. That's poor. That's the family I come from. 37 people living in a 4-bedroom house in Forest Gate. Who knows Forest Gate? It's worse than Croydon. So growing up in that environment, I saw the passion and the fire in their eyes. Let me ask you a question. If 37 people are living in a 4-bedroom house and they've got no money and they're broke, but they're working hard, and you witness all 37 of those people go on to change their lives, to own property, to travel, to own businesses, is that coincidence? Or was it a decision that was made?
Decision.
Doesn't matter how broke you are. None of those people in that house were committed to being broke. You with me? All my uncles, my aunts, my cousins, everyone, we all own properties. We've got stuff going on. Is that making sense? Because we didn't think about how to survive tomorrow. We thought about how to create our future. Is this making sense? I can only share with you the experiences that I've gone through and hope that you pick up a piece of what I've gone through and learn and apply it in your own life. Is that okay? So why do I love network marketing? I found network marketing when I was 26 years old. About 2 years ago. What? Marcia laughing at me. What? Well, it's been a while, right? 19 years ago, I was sat in a room just like this. Had stars in my eyes, and at the time, I was in a very, very bad place. 2 years prior, I'd lost my father. And after losing my dad, I'd had a very successful career as a child. I started my first business at age 11. By the time I was 16, I was making more money than most adults. 1 hour a day in school. By the time I was 24, I had more money than sense. Now, I didn't have much sense, but I had more money than the little sense I had, right? No, not then. But I had more money than sense. I was doing phenomenally well in business. I was madly in love with my girlfriend of 6 years at the time. My whole life was just going perfect. Nothing could have gone wrong. And then one day my dad passed away, my whole world collapsed around me. And I made a decision in here without realizing. It wasn't a conscious decision. But I made a decision that life sucks. That it's not worth it. Nothing's worth it. And I switched off all the light bulbs inside of me. You with me? The impact of that decision is phenomenal. That maps out into the future. The impact of that decision of disengaging from life, of not being interested. Within 6 months, my 6-year relationship was destroyed. Who's ever destroyed a relationship because of the way that their mind was not serving them very well? Who's ever done that before? No, nobody's destroyed a relationship here? We've got a room full of people that don't want to take responsibility. I know where you're at. It's always their fault, isn't it? It was the other person's fault, wasn't it? The victim mentality is always somebody else's fault, right? It's the government, it's the politics, it's the economics, it's there, it's the partner, it's him, it's her. Always. Let me share something with you. When you own your life, you have power. When life is somebody else's fault or something else's fault, you lose power. Is this making sense? So now own it. You screwed that up. How's that feel? Some of you still struggling with that one, right? No, it was his fault. It was her fault. Doesn't matter whose fault it was. Own it. You created that. What if you could create whatever you wanted and you created that mess? If you could own it at that level, now what? Within 6 months, no coincidence, 6 years bliss, within 6 months, she had to leave. I say she had to leave. I was hard work to be around. I wasn't the same person I was 6 months before that. Is that making sense? Now, at the time, I blamed her. She left me at my lowest moment. Blah, 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 all that rubbish, right? At the time, it was all victim mentality. But when I look back, I wouldn't have wanted to be around me. How can someone else want to be around me at that time? So I destroyed the relationship. I distanced myself from my friends and family. So I had no connection with them. My social life, I went from being the light and soul of the party to completely, I walk in a room, the lights switch off. Who knows people like that? So negative, the lights blow out. That was me. Some people walk into a room, the lights come on, right? They light the room up. Who knows people like that? Yeah. I walked into rooms, change. Negative charge. I was so much hard work, money hated me. All the wealth I built left me. Within 2 years, I was bankrupt. Notice I didn't say my business failed. No, I failed my business. My business was fine when I was fine. You with me? I took my eye off the ball, I stopped focusing on that. I was so focused on the negative charge inside of me, I created a negative world outside of me. You understand what I'm talking about here? When you understand, you create your experience of life, you create your reality of life, you design it with the thoughts that occupy your mind. If you understand this simple quantum science, that your thoughts become things, you manifest whatever reality you want. You impress into your mind the thoughts, and they express themselves in the material world around you. What if you could shift the way your mind works so that everything started coming towards you rather than repelling away from you? You think that'd be pretty powerful. Imagine you can attract the right people for your business to take you to the next level, rather than having to chase them. Who likes that idea right there? So I'm going to talk about how this business became easy for me and why and how. So there I am, 26 years old, bankrupt, no relationship, no connection to people, and disinterested. I sat in a room like this, and the first half an hour, I was sat like this, arms crossed, legs crossed, eyebrows crossed. Wasn't interested. The speakers at the front of the room with beautiful pictures of cars, homes, lifestyle, big smile on his face, and I'm sat there thinking, you've got no idea what it's like to be down, you arrogant bastard. Who's ever been judgmental and righteous before? Yeah, you guys are good, man. I'm going to hang around you a bit more. I was very judgmental, very opinionated, very fixed in the way my mind was working at the time. And I was convinced this guy was an arsehole. Halfway through the seminar, he starts sharing his story. And he talks about how he, as a child, had to go into foster home because his parents didn't want him. What? I'm sitting there thinking, hold on a second, how does that work? I'm blessed, I have phenomenal parents. He starts talking about as he was growing up, he was abused as a child in different foster homes. I'm like, what? That guy with that big fat smile at the front of the room with this great lifestyle went through that kind of tragedy. Whoa. He got into drugs and crime, been to prison, had this whole messy, cloudy upbringing. And at some point found a mentor and found his way. And when he was in that room, he was sharing a whole different life to the one that he had in the past. If you looked at the two lives, you couldn't make the connection. You with me? And all of a sudden, I had one of those moments, a breakthrough moment, where my mind was like, whoa, if he can change all of that negative energy into something so positive, who am I to sit here and judge whether he's for real or not? And I made a decision in my mind to start listening to him. And when he started talking about the wonderful things he does now, giving back, charitable work, contribution, making a difference, training, leading, doing these amazing things, all through the industry of network marketing, how this industry saved his life, I got excited. Who could get excited about that kind of a decision? That was me. I got excited. I'd lost hope. You with me? Got into the business, but I had my own traditional business. I just started again, because when you're rock bottom, and if you're an entrepreneur, you always find a way. You with me? So I was hustling. I was doing a little bit of this and that out there. Nothing great. Making a little bit of money. Started moving forward. But I found network marketing. I used to go to every seminar every week, every training every month. I was reading all the books, listening to all the CDs. Back then it was tapes, videos. Who remembers those things? I was putting in the hours. Are you with me? You've got to put in the hours. I was putting in the hours, I was learning, I was studying, I was preparing myself for the success that everyone around me was talking about that was already in the industry making money. I was surrounding myself with people back then that were making £20,000, £30,000 a month. Passive income. 20 years ago, that was a lot of money. I know it's not so much now, but back then that meant something. You with me? You can get by now on 20 grand a month. Tighten your belt a little bit. started listening, I started paying attention. Marcy said, pay attention. You have no idea how powerful those words are. Pay attention. Wow. Get focused. What are you focusing on? Focus on the activities that produce growth, that produce income, that produce results. Don't focus on the activities that don't do that. There's two kinds of people in network marketing. People make money and people don't make money. The law of averages don't change. 95% of people in the job retire broke, 95% of people in network marketing retire broke. It's not network marketing that's the problem. Who can make the connection? Yeah. It's not the corporate world that's the problem. There's plenty of opportunities in the same company. One person sits in the same position their whole life, the other one progresses and becomes a manager, eventually potentially a director, takes a leadership role. Is that making sense? The problem is not the company. People say, oh, my company doesn't pay me very much. No, yeah, you're right, the company doesn't pay you very much. The company pays plenty. Who knows people in the companies that you work for that earn a lot more money than you do? Yeah, always. The company doesn't have a problem paying people. But you've got to reach out for those higher positions. Is that making sense? Yeah. You can't sit there and hope to be noticed. You've got to be the one that makes that happen. You've got to add value. You've got to create value in the workplace. So people say, you know what, yeah, you deserve more. Let's pull you up through the ranks. Some people have a mentality of, I'm owed a living. Are you with me? No, nobody owes you anything. Until you start owing it to yourself. So I come into the industry, I'm learning, I'm listening, but I'm not making any money. 3 years passed by. 3 years of attending all the events, listening to all the information, and I'm still not making any substantial money in network marketing. A couple of grand a month here and there, but nothing like the people I was around. And here's what I realised. I joined network marketing because of the feeling it gave me. Because I was in a negative space. I got addicted to feeling good around great people. My focus was on attending so I felt good. It wasn't on taking the actions that produce the results that generate income. Does that make sense? Yes. I didn't distinguish that for a long time. I'd get frustrated, I'd turn up. I'm like, man, I'm coming to all the events. My coach keeps saying, come to all the events. I'll come to all the events. My coach says, listen to training. I'm listening to all the training. I'm doing all of that. But when I go back home, I'm not applying what I'm learning. Not to the extent I know I'm capable of. What I didn't realise is those 2 years of negativity, I'd lost a lot of self-worth and a lot of self-esteem. Had identified that. You'll be amazed how your self-worth and your self-esteem matches directly to your bank account. Hello? So you can be in the right place at the right time, make the right decision to come in, but that's only part of the decision. Now you've got to solve yourself, the jigsaw puzzle of you. If you're not in and taking the actions that are producing a result, taking the direction that you're committed to going in, if you find when you go home something stops you, things get in the way, chances are you've got something unresolved within yourself. Is that making sense? Yes. It's amazing how we manifest our lives based on how we perceive ourselves. You won't make 10 grand a month until you think you're worth it. Even if you do, you'll destroy it. In 19 years, I've seen a lot of people in this industry. And I've seen a lot of people make a lot of money in this industry. And they're still broke. How does that work? I know people that have made millions and today have nothing. It's not about the money, guys. It's about who you are when that money comes in your direction. Lottery winners. Anyone here play the lottery? Let me tell you about the lottery. 7 out of 10 lottery winners are broke within a few years. I think it's 4 or 5 years of winning the jackpot. Why? Why are 7 out of 10 people broke within 4 or 5 years of winning the jackpot? Yeah. You will find a way of destroying everything good that happens to you if you don't feel you're worth the result you produce. You with me? You can attract the right partner into your life, but if your self-worth isn't on point, the person you dreamed of, you'll do whatever you can without even realising to destroy that relationship. Is that making sense? You don't even know you're doing it. You behave in a way that'll just destroy what's great. It's amazing how we manifest everything that goes on in here in the outside world. So I don't need to teach you the skills of network marketing, because there's plenty of training on the what to do, the how to. That's not rocket science. Who gets that? Network marketing is a very easy, simple industry. Who would agree with that? Very simple industry. You with me? There's only a couple of things you need to do. Number one, make a decision to get in. Number two, take action to produce results. What is the action? There's not much. You don't have to go out there and learn mechanics to build a bridge. Here's what you've got to do. Pick up the phone, invite a couple of people to take a look at what you see. What do you have to do? Pick up the phone, to invite a couple of people to see what you've seen. It's not rocket science. Who gets that? But how do we behave? Marcy did an impersonation earlier on, right? I've seen this thing under. It's like, what? People aren't going to be inspired by that approach, right? Now, why would you approach somebody with that kind of insecurity? Because something inside you is embarrassed that you've stepped up to say, you know what, I'm an entrepreneur. You comfortably tell them about your job. You with me? You sit there and talk about your job for hours over lunch. He said this, she said that, my boss, that. Hours. Talk about your business, you don't know what to say because you're embarrassed. Because you haven't declared yourself a successful entrepreneur yet. Does that make sense? Signing up's not enough. That doesn't turn you into an entrepreneur. So you're going to have to go through the pain barrier to break down who you are so you can step into your greatness. Does that make sense? Yeah. I liken it to the process of a butterfly. Butterflies are born with wings. It's not beautiful and pretty and floating around nice and light when it's born. It's born as an ugly, messed up caterpillar with a few hundred legs, looking nasty, with no real value on the planet. Is that making sense? And two things happen to that caterpillar. It either gets into a cocoon and it goes through the pain and breaks out and survives, or it gets stuck in the pain and dies in the cocoon. Human beings die in the cocoon. Who knows people with great potential but not producing any results? Yeah. Millions of them. Yeah. They say the richest place in the world is the graveyard, right? Yeah. So you've got to make a decision. Are you going to break through that cocoon? Are you going to break through your pain? Or are you going to die with it? Are you going to sing your song? Are you going to take it to the grave with you? Are you going to shine your greatness? And what I love about network marketing is that the vehicle, the nature of the vehicle itself measures your growth. It measures your transformation, your ability to communicate, to lead, to inspire, to create, to produce. It's just a measurement tool. And so there I am 3 years later, and I sat down with my mentor back there and said, listen, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm coming to all the events, I'm listening to all the tapes, I'm watching all the videos, I'm coming to the trainings, I'm committed. And he said, what are you committed to? I said, the whole project, network marketing, I love it. He said, yeah, but what have you been committed to? He said, I get that you've been doing all of this. What haven't you been doing? I said, what do you mean? He said, well, look, network marketing is very simple. You pick up the phone, you call a couple of people and share what you've seen. Have you been doing this? And my physiology changed. So I knew that that was the bit that I wasn't good at. Does that make sense? The mistake I made, I wasn't asking for help. I was in the pain, I was struggling, I was suffering, but I wasn't letting anyone know because my ego was too strong. I was like, hey man, nobody needs to teach me how to do this business. My results didn't match my ego, are you with me? But I wasn't good at receiving help, I wasn't good at getting coaching because I was an entrepreneur, man, I've made fortunes. What are you going to teach me? I don't know how to make money. but I wasn't doing it. So something in here shut down as a result of what I'd gone through in my life. Does that make sense? Success is a game of psychology. If you study successful people, the vast majority, and there's always extremes in everything, but the vast majority of successful people are successful because they followed a certain set of rules and principles that always work. They think differently. That's the fundamental. They think differently. Just let that absorb for a second. Think differently. That takes a huge level of awareness, first of all, to know how you think in the first place. You can't think differently from the thinking that already exists. Can you see the limitations there? The thinking you've got right now has created the results that you own right now in everything. Health, lifestyle, fortunes, communication, relationships, leadership, whatever you're up to in your life. Every result that you've produced in your life is as a result of the thinking that you currently own. Is that making sense? Yeah. That thinking comes with limitations because it's produced the results that you own right now. Is beginning to understand what I'm saying here. There's a little phrase I heard years ago. The thinking that got you where you are today does not possess the thinking to take you out of that place. Let me say that again. The thinking that got you where you are today does not possess the thinking to get you out of that place. If you understand this one phrase, everything can change. So the first thing to do is study how you think. It took me a while to get that. Study how you think. Wow. How are you perceiving the world? How are you experiencing the world? How are you responding, or how are you reacting to the world and everything that happens to you in it? Is that making sense? Things happen to you. That's called life. What you do with what happens to you, that's called decision. Two people grow up in the same household, with the same parents, the same coaching, the same guidance, the same conversations. One ends up in prison, the other one ends up a president. What happened was the same. How it was processed, how it was perceived, how it was converted and translated, that was different. Is that making sense? That's the only difference. I've got a friend in the USA. He's a twin, two twins. That's where that story comes from. There's two guys with the same parents. They both, at some point in very early years, have a very vivid memory of their father, who was a drug addict and a very abusive father, picking up a gun and pointing at them from a very young age. The friend I have made a decision that he will never grow up to be like his father, and that he'll become better and do whatever he has to do to win so he doesn't end up in that situation. His brother made a completely different decision. His brother made a decision that my father hates me. I'm undeserving of love. And he went on to create a very destructive life and was in prison for murder. I think he's still in there. I don't know if he's out yet, but this was like about a decade ago. He was in prison for a while. I don't know how long he got, but that's the power of decision. Are you with me? One decides to become better, the other one decides to become bitter. It's the only difference. Who understands what I'm saying? It's not what happens to you. It's what you do with what happens to you that determines the outcome of your life. So when you understand this, all of a sudden, life doesn't happen to you. Life just happens. You happen to you. If you understood how your thinking process works, then you can govern in advance how you're going to process, how you're going to experience and interpret the events as and when they happen to you in your life. Who understands what I'm saying? So once you come into the business, so here I am, 3 years into the business, not very much profit made, a little bit, nothing exciting, nothing extravagant. By that time, I've already built another company that was doing tremendously well in telecoms. Anyone ever used an international phone card back in the days? Use those to make long distance calls? I was one of the first distributors to bring those into the UK. Wow. I built up a company doing £1 million a week turnover in the 90s. Wow. During that time was the same time I was in my network marketing business. So on the one hand, I've got this £1 million a week turnover business, only making 1%, but 1% of $1 million a week is not bad. Cool? And then I had this little thing on the side where I used to enjoy hanging out with my friends one night a week. I used to enjoy going to training once a month. I enjoyed the environment because it made me feel better. But I wasn't applying myself. And I was only making £1,500, £2,000 a month in that network marketing company. Are you with me? In 2002, I messed that business up. I decided I was going to take it to the stock exchange. I had big dreams, right? I thought, yep, this is the kind of company to take to the stock exchange. I brought in a whole set of managing directors and professionals. Professionals. They were that. And they were smarter than I was in that environment, and they nicked my company off me. The company's still going now. They diluted my shares and squeezed me out. I thought, wow, how does that work? I learned a lot about how companies operate in that time of my life. Very expensive lesson, you with me? But here's what saved my arse, my network marketing company. All of a sudden, that $1,500 or $2,000 a month now became my saviour. It was passive. I wasn't doing anything for it. I took it for granted, almost. You with me? And I decided to pay attention to that business instead. I said, okay, let's get serious. In the next 2 years, I made £300,000 part-time. But now I understood, it wasn't a lack of skill, it wasn't a lack of knowledge. I had all the skill and knowledge in the world, the know-how, the ability. That was already there. It was the decision that was missing to apply what I'd already learned and knew was already inside of me. To get congruent. You with me? When I got congruent, now when I was speaking to people, there was no hesitation, there was no grey area, it was clear cut. Listen, I'm going here, you coming or you staying? You with me? I used to say to people literally, are you in or are you in my way? There's only two options right now. I'm going there, are you in or are you in my way? When people see that level of conviction, people don't want to follow people that are lost. People don't want to follow confused people, they don't want to follow unsure people, they don't want to follow people that don't know where they're going. Is that making sense? Yeah. But when you make a decision of where you're going, like it's a done deal, and now it's just the steps you've got to take to get there, when you speak from that place, now people pay attention to you. Now they listen, now they know you're serious. Is that making sense? Yeah. See, some of you speak to people from a place of kind of, you need them, not that they need you. Yeah. It's very subtle, this stuff. You don't realise until you realise. It's a shift in your thinking. Everything is in here. But the approach changes completely when you know you're adding value to them versus you need them to help you to make money or get ahead or get to the next rank, all of that stuff. Just a little shift and all of a sudden you go from being a learner or a student to being a master or a leader. And you start leading others, leading people. That comes with great responsibility, right? Because now they're pinning their hopes and dreams on your leadership. You better step up and deliver. Don't just bring people into the company for the sake of making whatever, 30 quid or 42 quid or whatever chunk change you're going to make. You're missing the point then. Bring people in because you're going to lock arms with them. You're going to work with them, teach, train, cultivate, groom. Then they duplicate and replicate. the beauty of this business. When you master the skills of this business, there's more money made in network marketing than any other single industry on the planet. More than entertainment. Kids want to grow up to be pop stars, I don't know why. There's more money in network marketing, it's a lot more fun, right? More money than sports. Do you know the odds? It's not even 5% in that industry of how many kids that want to be professionals in sports that make it. It's less than 1%. Sports and entertainment, less than 1%. Network marketing, 5%. Who likes these odds better? I'm in. You with me? In sports, you're worthless after about 35 for most sports. 30, 35, 40 some sports, you with me? Snooker maybe 50. Call that sport, yes. But it's limited. This is for life. You can be 85 and build an organisation around the world that makes you a phenomenal income on a passive basis. Hello? You can see the smartness of whoever designed this concept all those years ago was beyond genius. You can see that. I dare people around the world, floor this. Find me the flaw in network marketing. Find me the hair in the soup. Find me the one crack in this business. And it's bulletproof. As a business model, it's bulletproof. It's flawless. It's the perfect business system. Why is it perfect? Because any one of you, regardless of background, upbringing, culture, religious beliefs, all of that doesn't impact the results you can produce in this industry. This industry forgives everything 100% and gives you a complete, equal, 100% equal opportunity to produce whatever result you feel you're worthy of producing. It's just, it's not based on anyone else. Your promotion through the ranks is not restricted by Marcia or Mandy's decisions. Absolutely, it's not. You want to outperform them, step up.
Absolutely. Freedom. Do it.
They don't want you to.
Yep.
Where else is that going to happen? Where the people above you want you to do better than them. Doesn't take anything away from them when that happens. You win, they win. It's become more of a modern little phrase, like let's create a win-win situation. Network marketing's been doing it for 70 plus years. Now the conventional world is catching on to, oh, maybe win-win is the way forward. Not stepping on people's toes and destroying people and putting them down, but maybe actually lifting them and working together and collaborating. That's the new fancy word, right? Let's collaborate. Let's JV. Network marketing's been doing that for 70 plus years. Creating billions and billions in revenue and creating millions and millions of millionaires every year. Who's heard of Amway? The number of people that when they hear that word, they have a negative impression in their mind. It makes me laugh. Because Amway turns over $1 billion a month. You can laugh, but they're laughing louder. And they pay out over $500 million a month in commissions. You show me one corporation, FTSE 500, that pays out 50% of their revenue to the people that help them turn that revenue, bring that revenue in. One corporation, there isn't one, doesn't exist until you step into network marketing. $500 million a month from a company that's got the most kind of trashiest reputation in the industry, unfortunately. Networkers take the mickey out of Amway. So you shouldn't be doing that. You should be accolading them for paving the way that they may have created the Mini that you now have the ability to drive in a Ferrari or Lamborghini. They designed the first model that allowed the concept to be formed. Does that make sense? Yeah. And people have improved on that over the decades, naturally. And now you can sit in a Ferrari or a Bentley or You know, whatever car kind of hits your top buttons and says, right, I'm going to take this vehicle to the top. They paved the way, right? Who's heard of Avon? Billion a month, $500 million plus paid out in commissions every single month. Do you know what $500 million is? It's a lot of millions. If they just paid $1 million per person, that would be 500 people a month making $1 million a month. Sorry, yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, that's right. 500 people a month making $1 million. Every month. But it's a lot more than that, right? Because they spread it through a lot more people. So there might be 100 a month making $1 million a month. And a couple of people making 2 or 3 or 5 million a month. You with me? But you don't have to be making 3 or 4 or 5 million a month or $1 million a month. Because network marketing changes lives. And it changes lives when you're making an extra 300 a month. When you're broke, 300 a month is the difference between not breathing and breathing when a bill comes through the post. Stress is the biggest killer in the world. And most people, here's a statistical fact. In the UK, 80% of repossessions would not need to happen if the average household was making an extra £100 a month.
Wow.
People lose their homes for they're close, but they're not close enough, and bang, lifetime of work gone. £100 a month on the bottom line would save 80% of repossessions. Now I want to ask you a question. Is it possible to make £100 a month, even if you're crap in network marketing? And if it means it saves your house, it's worth being a crap network marketer. You with me? Serious stuff. As I said earlier on, if you can get to 100, can you get to 200? Yes. And when you climb to 200, will you see more? Yes. Always. It's the nature of the mind. When you reach one peak, there's always another waiting. And that's how you get to the top of a mountain. You don't look at the top of Mount Everest and say, man, that's a long, long way away. You get to base camp first. You with me? So you haven't even started climbing the mountain, you're already kind of a third of the way up. Can you see that? You break it down into little goals. Bite-sized chunks. Make your first sale, make your second sale. Help them make a couple of sales. Make your third sale, help them make a couple of sales. Make your fourth one, help them make a few sales. Now maybe create a small meeting around your house with 10 people. Invite 1 or 2 people each. You've got a living room full of people. Is that making sense? Yeah. Invite them along to these events as regularly as they happen. As soon as one of your uplines has an event, plug into it. You and the army. The army's what? Initially it's just you. Maybe it's you plus 1, you plus 2. That's an army. When you understand network marketing, you are the army. Because it's what comes through you as a result of you turning up. What's possible through you. One word you might hear from somebody. One message you might hear from somebody. That turns your decision into action. You with me? My decision turned into action after 3 years. Doesn't matter. I always say that the only way you can fail in this industry is to leave it. It's the only way you can fail. What if I left because I didn't make enough money in the first 3 years? Plenty of people did. You with me? Guess where they are today? Exactly where they were when they left. I persevered, I stayed, right? I hung around. Now I don't know why. Because I was making plenty of money outside of network marketing for me not to hang around. I was blessed that I was getting a good feeling from turning up. Who gets a good feeling from turning up to these events? That's enough right there. If you never make a penny in network marketing, and all you ever do is feel good for being in it, you win. Imagine you felt this good when you turned up at work. They pay you. You don't feel this good. That's the power of this industry, right? If this industry has the ability to bring out a better version of you, don't focus on the money, don't worry about that. Initially, let that be the start of your integration of who you are, finding your feet, finding who you are, finding your place in this world. Does that make sense? There's no rush. But of course, if you rush, then you get to the money quicker, which solves a lot of other problems a lot faster, but that's another conversation, right? But once you then make the decision that you're ready, then run. Momentum isn't built slowly. Momentum doesn't happen slowly. You with me? You can't get in an aeroplane, go 10 miles an hour and hope you take off at the end of the runway. No, you're going to crash. Is that making sense? So when you decide you want to take off, make sure your foot is bang, full all the way down. And you go hell for leather. You with me? All in. Because the aeroplane only takes off when it hits 200 miles an hour. And during that process of getting your business to 200 miles an hour, you're going to come across a few potholes, a couple of flat tires, people who are shooting at you along the way, right? Your neighbours, your family, your friends, trying to bring you down on that journey. Your job is to get that thing to 200 miles an hour. Because once it takes off, you can't stop it. Something else takes over at that point. The aeroplane does all the hard work on the ground. It doesn't work hard up there. It's gliding. It's taking advantage of just the universe, right? The laws of the universe. Aerodynamics. The wind carries it forward for the rest of the journey. Is this making sense? Okay, time flies quickly, doesn't it? So here's the deal. You're in an industry now that has the ability to change your life. I want to ask you a question. What part of your life do you want it to change first? Let's say we had a couple of options. I'll give you a couple of options. Let's say that it gives you the ability to make more money so you can solve maybe some of the other problems that you're trying to solve in the rest of your life. Who thinks that's a good thing to focus on for the next 90 days to get that solved? Would that be cool? Yes. And if that's what you want the focus to be, that's what it can be. If you're not ready for that, let's say it can make you feel a lot better over the next 90 days while you assimilate yourself and work yourself out and help you get clarity in who you are in this world, where you're going, what you're really committed to in your life. If that's what's important to you, then get focused on that. Is that okay? Yeah. Because that's the foundation. Once you've decided that you want to make some financial impacts on your bank balance, get specific. Because what this is a mathematical equation. So whatever numbers you want can be worked out by the numbers on the board. Does that make sense? If you want £1,000, then you can just crunch that through here, what level you need to be, what kind of numbers you need to produce, and that's an extra £1,000. Are you with me? So this is just like this. This is a measure. It's a measuring tool for the goals that you're setting for yourself. Here's the first thing. Don't set goals that are designed to fail. It's a big mistake a lot of people make, right? So it's getting the balance between dreaming and goal setting. They're two very different things. Dream big and set achievable goals. Your goals lead you to your dreams. Is that cool? A lot of people get that all confused and they get disappointed because they didn't make £300,000 in their first month. Who remembers the first time you saw the network marketing concept? And you went home, you couldn't sleep, drawing circles, working it all out, and you were convinced that in 90 days you're going to be retired for life. It's not quite like that, right? But here's the thing, if you actually understood that in 90 months you could be retired for life, perhaps you'd have taken a different approach. Does that make sense? And all of a sudden that now becomes doable, measurable, it's more specific. So now you've got a 90-month game plan. Listen, you're already in for 500 months at a fixed salary that keeps you broke anyway. Is that making sense? When you decide to be in the job system is designed to keep your head just above water. Who's worked that one out already? Yes, you make commitments like that anyway. So if you can turn 500 months into 90 months, who can see that's smart? Yeah. So now you make that long-term commitment. So it doesn't matter now. The journey doesn't matter. Who gets that? The journey is irrelevant when your commitment's bigger than tomorrow. Here's how most people come into network marketing. And they get rich in 90 days. They're not rich in 90 days. They leave, then they badmouth the industry, they badmouth their friend that got them into it. Everything's the world's fault. They go around telling other people that have a dream, listen, don't do that. Those things never work. Get out of there before they even begin. Who knows people like that? Yeah, because they got brought in the wrong way. Because somebody saw them as £100 commission. They didn't educate them. They didn't train them. They didn't show them what this is actually about. They just got them in. Don't just get people in. Your friendship's worth more than 100 quid. Does that make sense? Yeah. See, when you get them in through here, that's short term. When you get them in through here, that's long term. Make a commitment to lock arms, work together to help them achieve their dreams while you achieve yours. Wow. Now that's a lifetime plan. Who gets that? It's a whole different way of building the business. When I started understanding these little subtle shifts in the way that my thinking was working, when I moved the focus to contribution, making a difference, giving an opportunity to others, working with them, literally working, sitting there making phone calls if that's where they were stuck, with them. Show me your list, right? Let's call this person. Pass the phone over to me. Say hello, tell them there's something you want to share, and say, look, you sat with a professional who wants to give them some information, pass the phone to me. Yep. Then they phone their dad up, who they're never going to phone up. They phone their mum up, they phone their brother up, they phone their sister up. Why? Because the stranger's always the expert. They couldn't have that conversation with those people. But they'd happily pass the phone to me and say, Couch, can you speak to my mum? Can you speak to my dad? I've got no history or baggage in that conversation. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I'd just share the information. I'd share what they'd seen. I'd share what I'd seen. And some would say no and some would say yes. It didn't matter. Because our job was to what? Pick up the phone, call a couple of people, and show them what you just seen. That's all we've got to do. We don't have to judge that process. We don't have to have an opinion about it. We don't have to emotionally load that process. It's just a simple activity that produces a result. The more activity you do, the better your results are over time. Does that make sense? Yeah. When you start out, you might get 1 out of 20 that says yes. If you make it personal, you'll give up. If you understand it's just the numbers, then you improve. Let me ask you a question. If you get it wrong 19 times, but you get it right once, did you improve? Yes. Yeah. Chances are the next time it will be 1 in 10, because you're better than you were last time. And now you've got a result. Results make a massive difference in your posture, in your belief, in your ability. Does that make sense? Yeah. You get 1 in 10, now you really dream big. You start pushing for 2 out of every 10. You get 2 out of 10 as an average in network marketing, you're going to make a tiny fortune in this industry. 2 out of every 10 conversations, a fortune in network marketing. Who's willing to push their average up to 2 out of 10 yeses? Yeah. It's going to take some work, right? It's going to take some work. It's going to take some doing. My point is, don't underestimate this. But when you get those numbers, 2 out of 10, let me ask you this. What if you could get 3 out of 10? People that get 3 out of 10 make millions in network marketing. Think about what I'm saying here. People that get 3 out of 10 yeses are the ones that make millions in network marketing. Who could live with 7 no's and become a millionaire? And all of a sudden, the no isn't so painful, is it? It's just the numbers. Doesn't matter. Get excited. They say, thank you. I was just practicing. Bye-bye. That's how you get better, by practicing, right? Every no is a practice. All of a sudden now you've got the power. Can you see that? Yes. And now it becomes fun. Now you can call up the tough ones. You with me? Yeah. The CEOs and the MDs and the people that really drive the nice cars, live the nice houses and lifestyles, and give them a call. Hey, listen, I've seen this thing. Here's what it is. Da 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 da. Share the videos, whatever you have to share. Go through the process. And they laugh at you. Listen, counts, man. You want to get out those things. Those things don't work, man. You want to start something else. I was just practicing. Thank you anyway. Bye-bye, Paul. They told me about you. Don't worry. I've been warned, man. Because they're not paying your bills, those people. Does that make sense? So don't let them take the power away from your journey. You with me? Now, if you could get 4 out of 10, who'd be in?
Yes.
You'd be lying. Anyone that tells you they get 4 out of 10, they're lying. That's their ego talking. Are you with me? You don't get 4 out of 10 in network marketing. You get 3 out of 10 when you're brilliant. Cool? You get 2 out of 10 when you're good. You get 1 out of 10 when you're learning. Who's excited with those numbers? The numbers don't lie. They always work. Is that cool? Now, if you can get this message to your team, can you see how the duplication happens a lot easier? Because you're managing their expectation. See, what we do often in our excitement and enthusiasm is that we over-deliver on the expectation. And then we under-deliver with the result, and they get disappointed, they leave. Because you let them down. Does that make sense? But when you manage their expectation, just explain the numbers and how it works, the nature of the business. Here's how I do it. Say, listen, it's really simple. If they're in a job you're working like this, how much does your boss pay you currently? And you get their number. Cool? So right, how much did you make last year? How much did you make 5 years ago? How much do you think you're going to make 5 years from now? It's a very predictable graph. Does that make sense? If you didn't get 10% pay rise last year, chances are you're not going to get one next year. Is that making sense? So the graph of income in a job is pretty linear. You can work it out. If they made 21 last year, they made 20 the year before, chances are they're making 22 now, they might make 23 if they're lucky next year. Is that making sense? It's very predictable. So right, that's your numbers right now. Have the conversation. These are not necessarily easy conversations to have, but when you have these conversations, you create awareness in others. Is that making sense? So let me ask you a question. The job you've had for the last 5 years, 10 years, 8 years, however long it is, has that fulfilled all the promises and the dreams that you set out when you started? What do you think the answer is going to be? Because jobs aren't designed to fulfill on dreams. Is that making sense? It's not the nature of jobs. So it's almost like they're running on this thing that's just literally it's an invisible wheel. They think they're on a conveyor belt, but they're actually just on a wheel. They're on the same spot. There's no progress because inflation is more than £1,000 a year that they got pay rise last year. They're actually working backwards. Is that making sense? So when you educate people, now you approach from a whole different angle. You're not trying to get them into anything. What you're doing is you're increasing their awareness. Is that making sense? So listen, let me ask you a question. I ask questions like this. Don't be afraid to ask. Do you know any people that work hard 40, 50 years and retire broke? Ask the question. Because people, when they're in a job, they're not thinking about this stuff. And what you're doing is you're just bringing the obvious to their awareness. Is that making sense? Did your parents have a job? How did that work out? See, when you can have real conversations, people suddenly have awakening moments. Is that making sense? They say, right, listen, I'm going to help you solve that problem. If I could help you solve that so that you didn't have to be in the same situation as all these other millions of people that end up in that same situation, despite their skill, knowledge, wisdom, ability, because that system doesn't care about all that stuff. Is that making sense? Your parents might have been honest, hard-working, committed, focused, all the great things, they still didn't retire broke. Does that make sense? It wasn't them, it was the systems that they're in. You take those same skills, integrity, honesty, hard work, commitment, focus, and put them in network marketing, bang, different set of results possible. Can you see that? Now all of a sudden you're showing them, hold on a second, I already have the skills. Anyone that wakes up when it's still dark and gets home when it's dark, that's commitment. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
We don't ask you to do that in network marketing. In network marketing, you can wake up when your eyes finish sleeping. Who likes that plan better? Things like couch, New Year's Eve coming up, couch, have you got your goals set? I'm like, goals? Oh, what's that stuff, man? It's like, left that behind years ago. I did the goals 20 years ago. See, when you get to a certain point, goals, it's not about goals, it's about being. Does that make sense? I get to be whoever I want to be, whenever I want to be it, wherever I want to be it. Who thinks that's a cool place to be? I'm not saying that to brag or show off or impress anyone. I'm just saying that you can go from nothing, from being broke and not knowing how you're going to eat, to having everything in a very short space of time. You with me? In this industry. You can collapse 40 years of results into 4 years. If you get committed to this industry, right, really roll your sleeves up and tuck yourself under the wings of greatness for the next 4 years, the world is yours in this industry. And now more than ever. Yep. Now more than ever. Why now more than ever? Anyone? Why now more than ever? Because it's always now more than ever. It's always now more than ever. Because the ever is the rest of the world. It's been going for thousands of years. It's proven not to work for thousands of years, the job system. It's proven itself beyond a shadow of a doubt. So now more than ever, they need to make a decision to change that. Can you see that? So urgency has always got to be there. It's always now more than ever. Because if you don't create urgency, another couple of years passes by, they still didn't get in. You progress, they haven't. Does that make sense? If you're committed to your friends, if you're committed to your peer group, if you're committed to people around you that you love and care about, your job is to get the message through to them. And you do that when you become better. Can you see the importance of that now? You've got to become the kind of person they want to listen to for you to get that message across to them. And all of a sudden, it's not about network marketing anymore. Can you see that? Yeah. That's just the backdrop. That's just the platform that gives you the vehicle, right? That's just the system. The conversation is about so much more than the system. Do you get that? Network marketing is about moving people. What is it about? Moving people. Moving people. That's it. Such a beautiful thing to get paid for. The more people you move, the more you get paid.
No, can I push?
Yes.
I've got some fantasy here. Thanks for that. I'm good.
Thank you.
Yes. I want it.
I can see that. That's on fire. So look, I want to first of all just acknowledge all of you for being here. Because we don't do that often enough. Pat yourself on the back as often as you can for daring to be different. Yes. You with me? Because network marketing, even after 70 years, is not looked at as a serious profession still. One of my commitments is to turn that around in my lifetime. You with me? Having you busy right now working on your dreams. So network marketing still isn't taken seriously as a profession. You know, I love working with youth, right? The young, 18 to 25-year-olds. They're 50% of our population. The under 25s. That's the future. If we can get to them before the system does, wow. You with me? And they understand more than the people that have been stuck in the system for too long. They're easier to work with. Does that make sense? For me, that's the target market, the future. Are you with me? Yeah. So get to your kids, get to your nephews and nieces, and get to that 18 to 25-year group, because now you're impacting the future of the planet and their level of awareness on how the system works, and that there are other systems available to them. Is that making sense? Because they don't know otherwise. If you don't do it, no one else is going to do that. So get out and have the conversations with them that are going to make the biggest difference. And it's not about getting them into anything. It's about having heart-to-heart conversations about making a difference.
And if you can't train them, bring them to someone else that can.
Leverage on. Again, you're never a prophet in your own home, right? So get that third party to have the conversation in the beginning so that they can break the ice and bring down the barriers between that relationship you've got over the years. Because sometimes these people have seen you in your underpants, right? And suddenly you walk and say, listen, I'm a leader, man, I'm going to take you to their like, not the same credibility, does that make sense? And sometimes you've got to bring somebody else in, just have the initial conversation, set the bar straight. So thank you for being here, thank you for being committed to yourselves. That's the first part. Leaving here It's not about getting excited, having a laugh. Yes, we do all of that when we're in this room, but really it's about carrying it into your lives outside of here. Because when you go back to work tomorrow morning, when you go home tonight, all of that is still the same. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And your mind now has to trick itself. Because it will look the same, and it will feel the same. And some of the conversations will be there to remind you that it is the same. And it's you on your own in that place having a conversation in here that says, no, it's different today. It's different. Why? Because you attended. And suddenly the transformation starts happening in here. Is that making sense? And you start grabbing hold of that thinking where everything's familiar, and now you're not letting familiarity breed contempt. You're actually saying, you know what? As familiar as it is, I'm not. I'm the piece in this equation right now that's changed. And now you're going to start convincing yourself on a daily basis that you're going to expand this thinking into that environment. Does that make sense? Yeah. Don't relate to it like it's always going to be the same. It might look the same, might feel the same, but it's not going to stay the same if you're committed to that constant expansion in here. Does that make sense? Everything's overridden here first before it appears on the outside. It's really key to understand that. So hold on to the motivation, the inspiration, the learning that you had here. I saw a lot of you making notes. Brilliant. Keep those in your pocket. Lunchtime, just pull them out, just browse through a couple of lines. Put them back, smile and say, wow, man, you know, I'm different. Yes. I'm different because I attended an event. The people around me didn't attend. Is that making sense? That's how you do it. You've got to convince yourself before you can convince somebody else. Yeah. And you convince yourself consistently over time, not through one event, but every single day as often as you can. Is that making sense? Really, before you go into work, yep, I'm different. Then do your boring job that you know that pays you just enough to get by. That's fine. Appreciate it for what it does. Be grateful that it pays the rent. Be grateful that it puts food on the table. Be grateful that it puts clothes on your back. But don't be grateful that it keeps you broke for the rest of your life. Know that you have a dream bigger than that, a vehicle that can achieve you the results that you want outside of that space. Does that make sense? Yeah. So appreciate, have gratitude for it, but don't get hooked on it. Yeah. Cool? Yeah. Make sure you keep expanding the mind to the next level. And then the next thing is commit to turning up at every event. And you know, I can't express to you the power of every event. There's a lot of people that didn't make it here tonight. Who's got people that said they were coming and didn't make it? Show your hands. Wow. It's amazing, the power of rain. Same people are going to shovel snow off the driveway to get to work tomorrow for pittance. A couple of raindrops, and it's, you know, it's like, oh no, it's raining, I can't build my own business. Is that making sense? The mindset gets in the way. Think about what I'm saying here. They'll shovel snow off their driveway to get to work to make a pittance. A little bit of rain and they don't come in to build their own business. That's the difference. It's a subtle difference. Do you get it? Yeah. Very subtle. They don't hold their business to the same regard as they hold their job. As long as your business, if your job is more important than your business, guess where you're going to stay? It's all about values. Your values determine the life that you produce. It's only when your business becomes more important than your job. Now if it's raining, call your boss, say you're not coming in because you've got a meeting tonight, you'd rather make that. Priorities, is that making sense? Yeah. But the point I'm making is, you know, if you already do, you possess the skills, you show up over there all the time. Even if you're sick, who's gone to work in when they're sick? Yeah. So don't give any excuses. I said all excuses are the same, right? Excuses are excuses. Don't let excuses stop you from doing what works. Why do you think the girls have this event on a regular basis? They don't need to pull themselves away from their families, from their homes, from their comfort zone. It's because they're thinking about the team, right? It's teamwork. But if you're not thinking about the team, it's just them that are thinking about the team, that's not an integrous relationship right there. Does that make sense? Yeah. So commit to the team, commit to the bigger picture, commit to the actual, it's like family, right? Yeah. You've got to create that, you've got to develop that. And then you start doubling the numbers and tripling, quadrupling the numbers. Numbers should never be the same in this business. If they're the same, it means something's missing still in your commitment to that component. Your part that you play in that bigger picture. Does that make sense? Yeah. If you can still fit in this room a month from now, you're doing something not quite right. Who gets that? Yeah. You understand that? It's the nature of the business, right? So you now have to start saying, hold on, how are we going to double the numbers in this room? It's very simple. The next event that gets announced, bring 2. Simple as that, right? And guess what? When you're a different person and you invite from a different place, getting 2 people to show up somewhere. Have you ever invited two people to watch a movie with you and they showed up? Show me your hands. Yeah. So don't tell me you don't know how to invite people. Have you ever invited two people to come out for a meal and they showed up? Yeah. Ever invited two people around to your house for dinner and they showed up? So don't tell me you don't know how to invite people. Does that make sense? It's who you are when you invite them that isn't working. Your people are happy to show up when you invite them, but you're inviting them for a different place, and suddenly they're not showing up. Is that making sense? So you've got to recognise everything's inside of you. It's not them. They're not the problem. They didn't let you down. You let you down. You didn't firm up that appointment congruent enough. Is that making sense? They didn't realise what they were going to lose by not being here today, because your invite wasn't quite there. It's cool. It's not to beat yourself up. Don't give yourself a hard time. Just recognise that you can improve the way you invite. Is that making sense? You can tweak it, tone it, and make it so that next time they get that this is life-changing. It's not about, oh yeah, you know, if you turn up, it's okay. If you don't even text me to let me know you're not coming. That's not how a relationship works. Let them know it's serious, right?
No, I'm just laughing. So you trick them, say you invite them to dinner.
I see a lot of ladies in the room, right? You can really do it, right? This is me and you at the hotel Wednesday night. I've got a room booked and everything. I just show up. If you really want to play on it, this time a couple of girlfriends come along too, right? You see how they show up. Have a queue of them outside. See, once they're here, can you change their life? While they're stuck at home, you can't do anything. You can only feel bad for them, right? So thank you for being here. You've been awesome. Now, we're doing an event soon. Who's got value out this evening? Show me hands if you've got value out tonight. Awesome. Show me with a round of applause. Let's see how loud this is. That works. Thank you for that. Here's what we're doing. We haven't got a date planned yet, but we're going to do an event in the next 4 to 6... Oh, we have it? 8th of March?
No, not that one. Not the train.
Okay, so you've got an 8th of March event anyway, right? So put that in your diaries anyway. 8th of March. What's happening on the 8th?
North London. We're going down to North London, so if you know anybody in North London, next Sunday we'll be down there. We'll let you know. Facebookers, get back to your upline. And North London, we're building up North London now. We've got a huge following. Now here's the thing. It's in North London. Don't act like that's another country. Alright? It's a short distance away. Make a commitment to be there. Why? Because the team is going to be there. They're going to be there for everyone, not just themselves. Is that making sense? The more you get involved in the team, the more the team flourishes and thrives. That's just how it works. See, if it's just Mandy and Marcia that turn up in North London, and 4 of your guests show up, and you're at home, they'll have a conversation and something will happen and there's less control over what happens, right? But if there's 50 of you in the room and 4 people show up, they're in before they even see the presentation. Can you see the difference? Now, you might not have guests in North London next week, but you might have guests in the West London presentation that happens a couple of weeks later, and when your family shows up, and your 4 guests stay in that room, and they're in before the presentation, because everyone showed up as a team. Can you see the power of team? That's what it's about. When you understand the mechanics of this business, it's not rocket science, but there is a science to it. Understand the science and get behind it. Is that cool? So the event we're talking about is no date yet, right? Okay, so we're going to put a 1-day training event with myself, where we'll go through a lot more of the nuts and bolts beyond inviting. How to actually, you know, what to say, what not to say, when to say it, when you're presenting, when you're following up, when you're closing the deal, all the little things that make the big difference in producing the results. Does that make sense? Who wants to massively improve the results that they produce in the conversations they have? So that's what we're going to deal with. So it's be like a 5-6 hour workshop, and we're taking the payments for that now. So if you're committed, then you can pay for that today. Is that okay? It's going to be £100 for the day. Now I know some of you already switched off. Don't be acting like £100 is a month's wages. And if it is, then we really do need to have a conversation. Now let me ask you a question. Is £100 worth 5 hours of intense education that leaves you in a position to really understand this on a whole different level? Who thinks it's worth it? I'm not asking if you've got the money or not. I'm just asking you a question. Is £100 worth it? Show me hands if you think it's worth it. Look around.
So then the only thing between you and that workshop is your mind. Can you see that? Can you understand that? So you're either going to do what? Find a reason to be there, or a reason not to. It's all that ever happens in life. You make a decision and follow through and do what it takes, or you make another decision, follow through and do what it takes to produce that, but you're always producing the results. Does that make sense? Sometimes those decisions are tough. Who's ever made a tough decision before but it was worth it in the end? Yeah, decisions aren't meant to be easy, especially the ones that create growth. Is that making sense? So, we've already established values, 100 quid is more than enough. But luckily for you, I don't need the money. Is that cool? So I'm going to offer it to you for 20 quid. But don't let that be the value. That's the point I'm making. Don't treat it like a £20. You don't get the content I'm delivering, you don't get for 20 quid. Is that making sense? You don't. Companies pay me thousands of pounds to show up at their companies to speak. I'll get £3,000 for a 3-hour workshop anywhere I go around the world. So if they're paying me £1,000 an hour, and you're getting to leverage that for 20 quid, who's in? You with me? So now taking the excuse away, here's what you've got to watch out for. The rest of the excuses that kick in. You with me? Time, family, this, that, whatever it is. So here's the thing. It's going to be on a Monday morning, 9 AM to 6 PM. Now some of you already switched off because you've got a job. Can you see the limitations you place on yourself? Who can catch their thinking already? You're learning how to think now, right? It's very easy to say, yeah, but I'll work on Mondays. That's the easy option. You understand what I'm saying? Here's the other option. Boss, I'm not feeling too well next Monday. Because don't tell me you haven't taken a day off work like that before, yeah? Don't be telling me that you haven't done that one before. It's familiar territory. Right, so it's not on a Monday, but I'm just getting you to understand how excuses get in the way. Are you with me? It'll be on a Saturday or a Sunday, we'll work it out, it'll be soon, it'll be in the next
the next 4 weeks. The next 4 weeks.
4 weeks. So within the next 4 weeks, it'll be one of the Saturdays or Sundays. Is that cool? And the leaders will let you know. Who prefers Saturday? Hands up for Saturday. Right up in the air for Saturday. And hands up in the air for Sunday. Sunday is the overall majority. So Sunday. So it'll be a Sunday between now and the next 4 weeks. Is that okay? Your leaders will let you know when that is. So that's me done. I hope that we've really kind of juggled a few things up in here and messed your mind up a little bit so that you don't sleep tonight. And start dreaming. Start dreaming really big because you've got a pay plan here that you can milk. Like, you hit this hard, the next 3 years, 4 years, you can sort yourself out for life. All right? So thank you so much.
Please give this man a standing ovation, please. We cannot pay cabbage for this man. He's here for us, okay? And why are you joining PAYCATION?
Because I want a better life, I want change, I want travel, I want money, everything.
How long have you been in PAYCATION?
4 weeks.
4 weeks?
No, 8 weeks, sorry, 8 weeks. I started in January. Support we have from the group.
Yes.
From our leaders.
Yes.
Who are helping us, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Because the last time I went on holiday, my son was 2 years old, which was 8 years ago. I haven't been on holiday again since. I like the idea that I can travel at wholesale prices. I'm ready to travel, I want to travel now, and I'm just making the way and paving the way so the family can travel all together for the first time after 8 years, and I'm hoping I can actually, develop my business as well, because it's good to be a business-like-minded person, rather than to just sit down and do nothing. I want to actually grow in the business and make money just like everybody else. Thank you.
Oh, hi, my name is Carol. I've joined PAYCATION June 2014, and within that time I've gained personal growth, development in myself, and I found this a great opportunity. I love it, enjoying it. Also my friend Mandy and Marcia, thank you guys. I'm so proud of them, and I just see success all the way. Thank you.
Greetings everyone, my name is Mandy Burnett and I am a member of PAYCATION.
I joined the business about 7 months ago, and in 7 months I have a growing team of nearly 100 people. I am a national executive and I am due to become an international executive. Why? Because I have engaged in hard work, dedication, commitment, and I have continued to support, motivate, inspire and lead my team by example. Duplicating the process. One hand cannot clap, but together we're clapping, and the noise that we're making is money, growth, personal development and success. So you know what? Join us. The beaches of the world can be yours too. And make every vacation a paycation.
Hi there.
Hi, what's your name? And
It's
why have you joined
Manisha.
PAYCATION?
Yeah, I'm Manisha Bansay, and I've just joined on Friday. And the reason I joined PAYCATION is because I love traveling and I love the lifestyle that PAYCATION can give me. And enjoying all the lovely holidays I can go around the world and the beautiful destinations I always wanted to have a look to.
Thank you.
My name's Sonia Durant. The reason I've joined PAYCATION is because I love traveling and I also want to be financially free at some point.
Okay. What's the best part of PAYCATION for you?
I like the people. It's really nice to work with people that you like. I like travel and I like money. So all those three things.
My name's Glenda. I've been in PAYCATION for about 8 months now. I joined PAYCATION because I wanted to travel a lot more, and also I wanted to get my time back in the sense that I could leverage and, you know, just have time for myself to do the traveling that I want to do.
Next question. Nice and loud. Why should people join PAYCATION?
Well, people say they want financial freedom. I believe that PAYCATION will give you financial freedom because I've seen my income increase from just earning my normal 9-to-5 salary, which wasn't really getting me what I needed to get, to a passive income that's actually allowing me to do the things that I want to do. Pay for my holiday, and, you know, just actually being able to see money growing in my back office.
Right, I'm Yvette and I've joined PAYCATION because I saw it as an opportunity to improve my lifestyle and also to just have a better lifestyle, start my own business and just progress. And it's a great opportunity that I couldn't miss. It all made sense to me and it was a no-brainer. It didn't take much time for me to make a decision. And that's why I'm a part of PAYCATION today. Thank you.
My name is Carmen. I joined PAYCATION because, first of all, I was invited by a friend. I was so inspired by the teaching that would lead to a substantial income for a lifetime and also be able to build on that for my daughter. As a single mom, it's been a struggle, and I thought it was about time that I set things straight instead of just being in a 9-to-5 job, because I have dreams and she has dreams. So joining PAYCATION is going to afford us that lifestyle that we've dreamt of and know it's quite achievable by following the system that has been put in place.
I joined PAYCATION because I was looking for something for a while and I love traveling, and last year when I did sign up, I was going to travel anyway. That was my resolution, to travel more this year. So this business that's going to allow me to travel as an insider made sense to me. I didn't even know about the money making side until after I'd already signed up. So yeah, fix up and look sharp. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we spend money on foolishness. I spent £100 on shots. Do you know what I mean? So to spend £100 on something that's going to potentially allow me to not have to work for the rest of my life, why would I not? But yeah, I can spend £100 on shots. Like, do you know, it's just set your priorities right.
My name is Keisha, and the reason why I joined PAYCATION is because I have a small daughter, and I know the life that I've lived and how I'm living, and I wouldn't want her to live the same life that I'm living right now. So I'm trying to pave a way for her to have a better life than I have now. I would just say that look at the bigger picture of life. Like, having a 9-to-5 is, you know, standard for everyone, but if you have dreams and goals, the 9-to-5 isn't always going to be the best way for you. So kind of just look at the bigger picture of life and what's going to get you to where you need to be in life. Live your focus is the bigger thing. Live your dreams. Be ambitious. Don't limit yourself to like the small things. Always like think outside the box and be different.
And last but not least, why should they choose PAYCATION? Why? What are the benefits of PAYCATION from a younger perspective?
The benefits of PAYCATION would be that you can live the lifestyle. You have a business that allows you to live the lifestyle. So travel, be your own boss, the freedom, just freedom to be able to do what you want to do, either here, in another country. PAYCATION is the way forward.
Hi there, my name's Ashley Brown and I joined PAYCATION to change my lifestyle for the better. I have a little boy, he's 4 years old, and I feel that this will be able to give us all that we deserve. We will be able to travel more, we'll be able to help our family and friends, we'll be able to make a better life for ourselves and our future bloodline. We also will be able to enjoy the things that we're unable to enjoy at the moment due to financial situations. But with PAYCATION and the money which you can earn and the opportunity which it gives to you, it can change your life for the better. And as soon as I heard about PAYCATION, I knew PAYCATION was the way forward, and I attend all the events, all the travel parties, and I tore myself up with all the knowledge so I can be one of the greatest in this business. I plan to be diamond.
In PAYCATION so that I can make a better lifestyle for myself and for my children. And I love to travel, and if I can get paid to do something that I love, then I'm going to do it. And I don't intend to work until I'm 65, 70 and not have anything to show for it. So that is why I joined PAYCATION. I'm going to go places.
My name is Chantal Burnett and I've joined PAYCATION so I can provide for a better future and that I can pay off my uni loans, and I don't have to pay I don't have to leave uni with loads of debt hanging over my shoulder. It's just a great way to start your future. I'm only 18. I mean, by the time I'm 21, I'll be I'm set. I can't really complain. I've had great mentors, my mum, Auntie Marcia, my sister Ashley, my cousin Daniel. So they paved the way for me, so I mean, I can only pave the way for the youth that are ahead of me.
Meeting that we have had, and my gosh, can you hear what's happening? Come on, give a big shout to everybody, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about PAYCATION!